Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike, and Colorado Buffalo fans, if some of you are going to be here. Welcome to the channel. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts. I think it's important to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes. I think it's very important, if you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes. And I'm going to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes starting off the show in case there are some Colorado Buffalo fans again. And maybe you want to hear about the Colorado Buffaloes and then you want to get on your way. But I saw something today that made me realize there is absolutely no way that Deion Sanders comes to the Dallas Cowboys. For all of y'all who got these pipe dreams about Deion Sanders coming to the Dallas Cowboys, something is wrong. I know we're in desperation mode. I know we want to change. But I watched the football team today. What's going on, Nisi? Hey, we're gonna talk Cowboys. I don't know if you like. I don't even watch college football, but I watch the Colorado Buffaloes. Deion Sanders is my favorite football player of all time, and so I follow him with the Colorado Buffaloes. And what Deion Sanders is doing with the Colorado Buffaloes is exactly why Nick Saban decided to hang it up. People do not understand. This is why I like Deion Sanders. And people can love him or hate him, whatever you want. Deion Sanders is incredible. Deion Sanders is incredible. He's genuine. His persona is bigger than, I don't want to say his persona is bigger than life, but his persona transcends sports. This man has been successful at everything he's done. Everything he's done, he's been successful. It's absolutely incredible. And when you think about what's happening with the Colorado Buffaloes, I'm just asking myself, why would Deion Sanders leave that? This man is changing the lives of young men, changing the lives of young women. He has, I don't even know if you can call it a 180 with what he's done with the Colorado Buffaloes, man. I mean, Deion has literally just turned this entire campus. He has turned this entire thing around. And the thing that I love about it, and what makes me understand that he's never, I'm not going to say never, you can't ever say never, but the reason why I don't believe he's ever coming to the Dallas Cowboys, because he's having fun doing it. And I can tell you something about being the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I've never been the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But I've been with the Dallas Cowboys longer than Jerry Jones has been with the Dallas Cowboys as far as a fan goes. I'm showing my age. And I'm telling you, you rarely see coaches have fun coaching the Dallas Cowboys because Jerry Jones doesn't empower his coaches in a manner to where they can literally do what Deion Sanders is doing. Deion Sanders has come in and changed the culture of this football team. And the Dallas Cowboys need a culture change. And the problem is that if Jerry Jones allows that culture change, then it will no longer be all eyes on him and his shenanigans and stuff like this nonsense that went on at AT&T Stadium last night with Mike Tyson. Deion Sanders comes into Dallas, y'all, and I'm telling y'all, It's prime time, baby. It's all eyes on Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders come to Dallas. It's all eyes on Deion Sanders. And I'm telling you, the public and the football world will absolutely eat this franchise alive if they brought Deion Sanders in here and didn't let Deion Sanders do what he want to do. They would eat him alive. They would eat, they would, y'all think the media has been on Jerry? Y'all think the fans have been on Jerry? What's up, Jose Covado? Good, man. How you doing? As y'all come in, please don't forget to like this live stream. Want to make sure to get to as many people as we can as we try to grow the channel, get into that algorithm. I'm telling y'all, if Jerry Jones brought Deion Sanders here and didn't give Deion what he wants, see, Mike McCarthy is one thing. But see, Mike McCarthy has a Super Bowl. People might not understand. Deion Sanders has something that transcends a Super Bowl. His persona. His persona. Deion Sanders' persona, y'all. It's transcending college football. It is. And Deion Sanders is in a situation. That's why I keep laughing at folk. Deion Sanders is in a situation, y'all. I'm laughing that people keep talking about, oh, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, they want Deion Sanders as if the Dallas Cowboys' job is the creme de la creme. Deion Sanders can go anywhere he wants to go. I can think of, as we get further into our program, as we get away from Colorado, but I'm going to be here for a few moments. I'm going to show you as we start looking at I'm going to be, from this point forward, I'm going to be looking at the race for the top five, in the race to be top five in the draft. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm telling y'all, there are about 4 teams on that list that'll give Deion Sanders exactly what he wants. He won't have to fight. He won't have to have a tug of war. He won't have to be in a court of public opinion. He won't have to do anything. They will literally, Deion, come to our team. Here's the keys. We're going to go sit down and put our feet up on the couch. You get the coaches you want. You bring in the legacy players you want to be around this franchise. We'll let you put superstar. We'll let you put movie stars. We'll let you put rap stars. We'll let you put anybody you want to on the sideline, Deion Sanders. We'll give you carte blanche. We'll give you all the tickets you want to give to anybody you want to if you will come and coach our franchise and turn it around. We crazy. Sometimes I think Dallas Cowboy fans think they're privileged. We have been losers for 28 years. And as much as everybody hate on Mike McCarthy has run up in here despite Jerry Jones, in spite of Jerry Jones. This dude ran up in here and went 12 wins, 3 seasons in a row. And the second time he didn't win the playoffs, they started treating him like trash right then, admitting that Jerry Jones isn't even giving him the players that he needs. And Mike McCarthy is going to look like trash on the way out the door. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. I actually don't have a problem with Mike McCarthy. I understand the hand he's been dealt. I also understand he accepted the hand he was dealt. But that's no excuse for what Jerry Jones has done to Mike McCarthy since he's been here. Mike McCarthy has won in spite of Jerry Jones. Dak Prescott has won in spite of Jerry Jones. And people despise both of those men. My problem with Mike McCarthy is he hasn't controlled the parts that he can control. That's the play calling. That's the part he needs to be condemned for, because that's the very thing that got him up out of Green Bay. But as it applies to the Jerry Jones part, Jerry Jones has been the problem. He won't give the coaches the players. He won't put the players around the quarterback. He did the same thing to Tony Romo. Jimmy Johnson wouldn't let him do it to Troy Aikman. He's been the problem. And I'm telling y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, nobody is going to allow Jerry Jones to bring this dude right here, this dude right here on the left. They're not letting him bring that dude up in here and act a fool. Boy, I promise y'all, you want to see people turn? Bring that man up in here. Boy, they'll burn this franchise down to the ground. Jerry Jones will sell this franchise if he bring Deion Sanders up in here and don't give Deion Sanders every single thing that he wants to, every single thing he wants, because Deion Sanders is showing that if you give me what I want, man, I'll turn around the Colorado Buffaloes. I'll bring them into the Big 12. Do y'all know Deion Sanders now controls his own destiny? Deion Sanders went out. Deion Sanders will not only be in the Big 12 championship, Deion Sanders is going to do something that is unfathomable. The Colorado Buffaloes in the college playoffs? Deion Sanders writing his own ticket, y'all. He writing his own ticket. That's why Deion Sanders, man, I don't care what anybody says. Deion Sanders, arrogant? Yes. Arrogant as he wants to be. Genuine? Yes. I love the fact he's genuine as he wants to be. And he mixes God all up in that gumbo. He's got a lot of faith in God, always talking about God. I'm telling y'all, Deion Sanders is different. He's built different, and I'm telling you, they're not letting Jerry bring Deion in here and drag him. They're not gonna let Jerry bring Deion in here and drag him. I promise y'all. They like to burn the franchise down behind Jimmy Johnson. They will burn the franchise down behind Deion Sanders, man. Deion is doing some amazing work over there. He is. And Keith Rivera, I'm gonna be honest with you. In a perfect world, Deion Sanders is exactly the coach that the Dallas Cowboys needs. They need a coach that's bigger. They need a coach that's bigger than the owner. They need a coach that transcends sports. They need a coach with a persona that is so big, an ego that is so big, that Jerry Jones better not run his butt up in that locker room. He better not run up in there trying to speak to the team all the time. We need somebody to tell Jerry Jones, you don't get to speak to the team at the end of every game, Jerry Jones. You don't get to wait outside the locker room after you come into the locker room. What do we need you talking to us for? If you talking to us about 401ks, if you talking to us about the stock market, if you talking to us about business and marketing, Jerry, we listening. But after the game, it's not the time, bruh. We either won or we lost. This is the team. You the GM. Stay out. They need somebody that can do him like that. Niecy said, Jerry's a billionaire, has several businesses. Run your business and put people in charge. The Cowboys needs a GM, president, and vice president. And they need a doggone coach that he will let coach. You hit it on the head, Niecy. He need a man who is superior to him, persona-wise. We respect you, Jerry, for building the popularity around the team. We have no respect for you when it comes to building a team. You need to turn it back over, bro, just like you did to Jimmy Johnson. You need to turn it back over. Turn it back over. Sanders also turned around Jackson State. That program was horrible. My college used them as guaranteed win for homecoming. Everywhere he goes, he turns it around. He did it as a player. Everywhere he went, he contributed. I remember watching the documentary on him, and a lot of those Atlanta Braves, they were talking about, man, we thought Deion Sanders was a jerk. We didn't like him before he came in. Boy, they said Deion Sanders came in that thing, man. Deion Sanders came in the dugout. They said he's one of the greatest teammates you ever want to have in your life. People don't understand something. Deion Sanders is different. He different, man. We did Jose Corvetto. Hey, man. Hey, I don't know about the coach, but I can definitely put them on there. I can put them on to something, bro. I can put them on to this man named Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders can rebuild his crib for him, Jose. Danny, I was scared for Mike. He looked like he was going to pass out. I'm telling y'all. But put Deion Sanders on that sideline. This man right here will change life in Dallas, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm going to look at the box score. I want to look at some of the things of why I'm telling you I don't think there's no chance that Deion is going to come to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think there's a chance at all that he's going to come to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, Jerry Jones is literally going to have to put in writing and have a prenuptial agreement for this man to come into the Dallas Cowboys to give up what he has going on in Colorado. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, man, people do not understand. Boy, they treat you like royalty in these colleges, man. They treat you like royalty. And when you're a coach like Deion Sanders, man, they treat you like royalty. And Jerry, man, he'd have to turn this thing over. He'd have to turn it over. He'd have to turn it over. And yep, you're right. Mike is not the Mike of old, but Jerry is the Jerry he's always been. I want to show you the stats on this game because it's absolutely phenomenal when you watch it. I'm worried about Shedeur Sanders, not because Shedeur Sanders is not talented. I'm worried about Shedeur Sanders because Shedeur Sanders, folk might not realize it. I listened to Deion Sanders' interview this week. I listened to it today. I think it was before the game. And Deion Sanders was saying some things, man, that were just so deep. As a father of 4 boys, and what Sanders was saying about his sons, and including Travis Henry in there, how he would go to the Little League games and how he began coaching. He would go to the practices and he was watching things they were doing. And Deion was saying the things that they were doing, he said if they keep doing it, they're going to get hurt. And so he would go out there and show them a couple of things, he'd sit back down. He'd go out there and show them a couple of things, he'd sit back down. And Deion said he got to the point and said that if I'm going to do this, then I might as well do it. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And he became the coach. And Deion Sanders has been coaching his sons. He's been coaching his sons since they were in Little League football. And I'm going to tell you something, y'all. People don't understand. And Shedeur and Shiloh, Travis, and these guys who are even being under Deion Sanders, I'm going to tell you something about being young. Some of you understand what I'm telling you. When you're young and you have great parents in your life, you have great grandparents in your life, you have great people in your life, and it don't register with you. It doesn't register with you because if I feed you filet mignon, if I feed you prime rib, if I'm giving you caviar, if I'm giving you fried calamari, if I'm giving you the best of the best foods and delicacies and drink your whole life, well, that's pretty much what you expect. You don't realize that you had those delicacies your entire life until you don't have them anymore. And Shedeur Sanders, it's probably not registering with him because that's his, you don't call your father, you call him your dad. That's your dad. You know what I'm saying? That's your dad, man. That's his dad. It's not registering with him, I don't think yet. I don't think it's resonating with him yet. You have been coached by one of the literal greatest football players to ever lace up a pair of cleats. You've been coached by that man. He's your dad and your coach. Shedeur is not going to have that one day. He's going to be out there in that NFL, and his dad, he'll still be able to talk to him on the phone. But Deion said something that I still have right now with my sons, and they're older. We kind of do the same thing. You get a bigger house, and until your sons get married, you got a bigger house. You got your sons, they live with you. Never a dull moment. Always going back. Always about life. All these different things. And you're teaching your sons life. You're showing your sons life. You're trying to show them how to be greater than you. See, mamas can raise boys, but men raise men. Mamas do great job with boys. They nurture them. They take care of them. They teach them how to do a lot of things. Mamas are great in those boys' life. But fathers, let me tell you something. Only a father can tell his son, I want you to be greater than me. A mama don't tell sons that because she can't tell a son that because she's not a man. She can tell him, be a man. My mom used to tell me that, be a man. She can say, I want you to find a woman like me. She can say the woman that you don't need to be with, but the father gets to tell that son, let me teach you how to be a man. I'm going to show you how to be a man. I'm going to push you to be a man. And only men say this. I'm telling y'all, it's a phenomenon that no one else can do but men. I want you to be greater than me. And Dion to tell his sons, I want you to be greater than me. That's incredible when you think about what this man has achieved. And so when I look at Shedeur Sanders and I look at what he's doing, it didn't even look good today. Shedeur Sanders with 21 of 40, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Didn't look that good today. But I'm going to tell you something that I've been talking about and the Dallas Cowboys is missing, and this is what they need on their team. The Dallas Cowboys fan base is toxic. And I'm not talking about all of us. I'm talking somewhere between 15 and 25% of us. Totally toxic. We turn on every quarterback we get. Every quarterback we get, he has to be compared to Troy Aikman, who had a doggone Hall of Fame team around him in every single position in a non-salary cap era. But every quarterback that comes to Dallas, he's going to have to be compared to Troy Aikman, who in reality, while he was a great quarterback, a great leader, he was not asked to do the things that Tony Romo has been asked to do. He was never asked to do the things that Dak Prescott has been asked to do. Do more with less. They never asked Troy Aikman that. Jimmy Johnson never put that on him. Jimmy Johnson built a team around him, but most of all, he built a culture of accountability. Deion Sanders has built a culture of accountability even around superstars, legacy players, all of the fanfare that's around him. Deion Sanders has still managed to make sure that team stays focused. They stay focused on football. They stay focused on winning. They're talking about even now. They went up in here and whooped up on Utah, talking about this wasn't their best game. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't their best game if you're looking at individual stats. If you look at the fact that, I'm sorry, I had Isaac Wilson up there. Let me pull up Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders. 30 for 41, 340 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. I'm sorry. I had Isaac Wilson up there, Zach Wilson's younger brother. He got a long way to go. Shedeur Sanders, though, 30 of 41. Didn't even look like it. It didn't even look like it. It looked like he was struggling. If your eyes is playing tricks on you, you'd think he was struggling. But he was killing it. He was 30 for 41, 340, 3 tubs and 1 interception. But here's another place I'm concerned. Do y'all realize Joe Horn Jr., I think his name is, wasn't even there today. Shedeur is surrounded by talent. Surrounded by talent everywhere. I mean, this Isaiah Augustave, I mean, he got a touchdown. Travis Hunter, he got a touchdown. I mean, Offerdahl, he got a touchdown. I mean, everywhere. He's surrounded with talent. Draylon Miller. I mean, they're using guys today, and I'm like, who are these guys? I've been watching the game. I'm like, who are these guys? I've been watching them the whole season. I mean, he's surrounded with talent everywhere. Draylon Miller, touchdown. Will Shepherd, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he is literally surrounded with talent, y'all. But I'm telling y'all what's incredible about the fact that he's surrounded by talent. What's so incredible about him being surrounded by talent? This is what I give Phil Jackson credit for. This is what I give Jimmy Johnson credit for. But there are only certain kinds of men that can manage that much talent. It's only certain kind of men that can do that. Deion has been a part of those type of men. So he can manage especially young men, Deion can manage those men. 1, his persona. 2, his respect. 3, a lot of folk don't understand something. Deion Sanders is a student of the game. Deion's a student of the game, y'all. See, Deion has this thing that real special players have. They have this thing called, I got to back it up. Some people talk a good game. They don't walk a good game. Boy, Deion talk trash, and he back it up. Deion back it up, y'all. And he is putting that in his players. Nisi says, facts, G. You see what you are missing when you get on your own. Shador gonna see he gonna see how great. You can just imagine this. Can you imagine how people tell Shador Sanders, man, your daddy's off, man, your dad great. Older men tell him, boy, you just don't know how good your daddy really was. I mean, I would be telling them that. I would be telling Shador Sanders stuff that he probably already know. You don't understand that until you get on your own and start making decisions. I mean, really start making decisions. And then you start realizing, man, my dad really was this. He really was him. He really was him. That hadn't hit Shador yet. Because he's been with him, feeding off him, been with him. Boy, when he get on that on his own, he gonna really understand his daddy was him. And when he starts getting under somebody else as a coach, he gonna be comparing it like, man, this dude here, boy, I gotta talk to my dad tonight because this dude, he's not my dad. My dad would have done this. My dad would have done that. I mean, man, whoo, boy. Nisi, compare Troy to Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes. I mean, this is what they do in Dallas. Shador has been with this man this long, and I'm telling you, boys, it's incredible when he gets without him. Whew, man. What we're watching with this Colorado Buffalo team, y'all, I'm telling you. It's incredible what Deion Sanders has done. It is. And this is one of the reasons why when I think about Deion Sanders coming to the Dallas Cowboys, y'all, I made a list of why I don't think Deion Sanders is coming to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure the Colorado Buffalo fans are ecstatic. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. Deion is having too much fun to come to the Cowboys. Deion Sanders is having too much fun, y'all. Deion is doing exactly what he wants to do. He's changing the lives of young men and women. He's changing the entire program. I'm going to tell you something as someone that's a preacher. There is no greater feeling than when you know you're changing someone's life. There's no greater feeling. When you know you're changing people's life by your life, by what you're saying, by what you're doing, by what you're advising, even by just the camaraderie you build with people, by the fun I mean, people do not understand. Changing human lives is a great feeling. It's a feeling that some people do not understand. It's a feeling that's greater than money. Don't get me wrong, money can solve a whole lot of problems. It also brings a whole lot of problems. But if you love people more than money, the money will come automatically. But the reward that you get for changing the lives of people is second to none. And this is one of the reasons why I don't believe Deion is going to come to the Cowboys. And I think if he goes to any professional team, Deion Sanders has this on the top of his brain. Can he change the life of grown men? Freddie Morales talks about it all the time. I don't think he's on here today, but Freddie Morales talks about you shouldn't have to motivate grown men. I disagree. Grown men do need motivation. Some grown men don't need it. Some grown men are the motivators just by their work ethic. But everyone needs some encouragement at some time or another in their life. But sometimes when you get grown men, they're in that age of you can't tell me nothing. 30 years old, 29 years old, 28 years old, 27 years old. They're on that second big contract. You can't tell them nothing. It's hard to change the life of them old dogs. You up in there trying to tell them what to do, they're not listening. They got an agent. They got an agent that's advising them. They got an entire entourage around them advising them. I mean, and with the Dallas Cowboys, they even have an owner that he won't empower the coach. Deion don't want to be a part of that. Deion having too much fun in Colorado, y'all. This man having fun. Winning is just a byproduct of what Deion's doing, y'all. It's just a byproduct of it. This man's having fun because he can see the impact he's making. You think about all the stuff that Deion, let me tell y'all something, man. Deion don't need Jerry money. See, Mike McCarthy, he needed Jerry money. He needed Jerry money. Let me tell you something. A man who don't need your money, he's dangerous in every sense of the word. He's dangerous. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He's dangerous because you can't buy him. Your money not going to mean nothing to a man that you can't buy. I'm going to tell y'all something about Donald Trump. I don't care who you voted for. I'm not trying to talk political. You can love him or hate him. I'm not asking you to do it either way. But I'm going to tell you why Donald Trump is a threat to so many people. Love him or hate him. He don't need your money. A lot of politicians can be bought. But when a man don't need your money and you can't buy him, he's driven by his morals and his values. And there ain't nothing you can do with him. He dangerous. And I don't mean it in a bad way. He dangerous. Because he'll change. Whatever he wants to change, I promise you he'll change it. DA, yep, Mike's plays call is bad. It is. I'm telling you. The real Darryl says, do you believe Deion wants to coach Dallas? I think it would take him a year or two to get there. No, he don't want to coach Dallas. Why? Why would he want to, real Darryl? He's having too much fun. They announced today he has a new talk show called We Got Time Today with Roxy Diaz. What would be the motivation? What would be Deion Sanders' motivation, y'all, to leave the Colorado Buffaloes? This man right now is about to do something historical if he can pull this off. This man about to bring the Colorado Buffaloes to the Big 12? Big 12 championship now? Take them into the playoffs? We don't understand something, y'all. Deion not like all these other coaching candidates. He's not like all these other coaching candidates. They need to go to a team. Deion don't need to go to a team. I got news for y'all. Deion Sanders is running not only the Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders is running the whole university. He don't need the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys need Deion Sanders. Period in the story. All the other folk. Jason Witten. I don't want Jason Witten. He clamoring for an NFL job. He wants an NFL job. He wants a way to get in and try to become a coach. What kind of cachet does he have? Jason Witten won't be nothing but a long list of yes men. Kellen Moore won't be nothing but a long list of yes men. That's all they'll be. Men that Jerry Jones will have under his thumb because I'm giving you your first chance to be a coach. I mean, I'll give you your first 2 years. I kind of, do a little something you want to do. But after that, I'm coming back and taking control. Oh, and I'm going to still be all up in the locker room like P. Diddy. We didn't understand back in the day how prophetic that Suge Knight was being. If you want to come somewhere where the CEO not all up in the videos, you want to come somewhere where the GM / owner / coach / marketeer / whatever Jerry Jones had he wants to wear, he's not all up in the locker room. You want to coach that team? You want to coach that team? You come to the Dallas Cowboys because, like Trey Songz says, I bet everybody know my name. You want to come to the Dallas Cowboys because you want to make a name for yourself. Nah, Deion Sanders already got a name. You don't need the Dallas Cowboys. He don't need the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something. Deion Sanders is following a blueprint of what successful men and women do. Y'all know what successful men and women do? They surround themselves with people smarter than them. Y'all notice what Deion Sanders does? He tries to put men and women around him that are smarter than him at what they do. Anybody noticed how that defense turned when Warren Sapp came over there? Anybody notice how much better they're blocking? How much better the offense looks? Deion not playing, y'all. He knows X's and O's. And because he knows X's and O's, Deion Sanders has brought in people who knows X's and O's. That's why Chad Ochocinco, he wants to be on this team bad. Let me tell y'all something. Boy, Deion, y'all don't think Deion want to win? I watched Deion Sanders tell Chad Ochocinco on Nightcap, told him to his face, I'm not bringing you in here. You ain't serious enough. See, Chad trying to make a name for himself. Deion ain't looking for people trying to make a name for themselves. Deion is bigger than any name he can bring around him. But he going to bring people around him that are smarter than him in the positions they're going to coach. He's going to let them do their job. He's going to hold them accountable for their job. And I love what Deion does. He coaches the team. Deion coaches the team. Whole team, he coaching them. I love what he does. Michael Irvin is pushing Jerry. Is pushing for Jerry to hire Deion. I just don't think Jerry has anything to offer Deion. What does he have to offer? Neezy, I'm telling you, Witten ain't ready for this. Witten think he gonna come in here like Matt Patricia went into Detroit, and I'm telling all of us, he does not have the cachet. Jason Witten does not have the cachet to roll up in Dallas like there's some high school team trying to tell them how to win. I'm a grown man. I'm going to look at Jason Witten and go, yeah, you was pretty good as a tight end, but you were pretty slow too. I mean, you pretty slow. You catch the ball. I remember when you ran one time with your helmet off. You made them change the rules. You're a tough guy. Where your skins at? I'm not talking about pork skins. Where your skins at? Where your Super Bowl rings at, Jason Witten? Where's your cachet at? Where's your reputation? I don't want to hear about the fact, Jason Witten, you went and turned around a high school team. Did you win some Super Bowls? Are you regarded in your own position, Jason Witten? Are you regarded as one of the best men who ever put cleats on up in this thing? Because other than that, Jason Witten, you were terrible in the broadcast booth. You don't get to come in here and tell us nothing. Y'all see the issue with grown men? I want skins on the wall. I do. I want skins on the wall. You better believe Parsons, Niecy, you talking about Parsons going to be put on notice? I'm going to tell you who's going to be put on notice, Trayvon Diggs. He ain't good enough to, I'm telling you, I'm not saying he ain't good enough, but his mentality is not good enough. The one thing that Deion would do if Jerry bought him into Dallas, y'all know what Deion would do that would be similar to what Jimmy did? Do y'all know why Jimmy was able to turn the Cowboys around so quickly? One, the Herschel Walker trade. We can never forget the Herschel Walker trade. It's the dumbest, best trade in NFL history. There's never been a trade dumber. It makes me wonder now if Jerry paid somebody under the table to get that deal. But people were clamoring for Herschel Walker, and Jerry said, okay, you want him, you can have him, but you're going to have to give me the farm. And they gave it to him, the Minnesota Vikings. They basically gave him the farm. But number two, Jimmy was fresh out of college, y'all. Fresh out of college. Fresh out of college winning. Highly regarded. Had his finger on the pulse of college talent. And he brought in a bunch of young guys. They mixed in a few veterans. And Troy Aikman said it best. Troy Aikman said, we were ready a year before everybody thought we were ready. They tore the league up. Deion Sanders will do the same thing. Deion Sanders would come into this league, and I guarantee you that if he came to the Dallas Cowboys, one of the things that would need to happen, and I got something on here that I'm going to blow y'all minds with, but there would be a few things that would need to happen if Deion came to Dallas. But I'm going to tell you some more about Deion, then we're going to transition into the Dallas Cowboys. But I got some more reasons. Deion might be too big for Jerry. This is one of the reasons why Jerry let go of Jimmy. Jimmy was too big for Jerry. The persona of Jimmy Johnson. Because everybody said Jimmy built those teams. Jimmy built those teams. Jimmy built those teams. Deion Sanders comes to Dallas and he turns this team around. Guess what everyone's going to say again? Deion built this team. Deion got his own coaching staff. Deion told them who to get in the draft. Deion. I don't think Jerry can handle that. I don't think Jerry can handle that again. That's the kind of figure that Deion Sanders is, and that's why I don't think he's coming here. The situation would literally have to be perfect for Deion Sanders to come to Dallas. Hey, y'all, guess what? Deion Sanders has weapons everywhere. Deion Sanders, I promise y'all, Deion Sanders would bring the dog out of Dak Prescott. The dog is in Dak. The problem is Cam Newton keeps alluding to it. Jerry has too much control in Dallas, and I can't believe it. Cam Newton said that Jerry Jones has a leash on Dak Prescott. He does. He does. And Cam Newton is saying something. Dak Prescott, you got the bag now. It's time to let the dog loose. You got the bag now, man. It's time for you to turn the dog loose. This is probably your last contract in Dallas, where you might as well go out with a bang. Turn the dog loose. I promise y'all, Deion would turn the dog loose in Dak Prescott. He turned the dog loose. Deion know it's there. He would turn it loose. He knows it's there. Anybody who's watching this Dallas Cowboy team not dumb. They know doggone well it's Jerry Jones. Mike McCarthy did not lose the locker room. Jerry Jones did. All up in the locker room. I still cannot figure out. You're the GM and you all up in the locker room after the game giving speeches. Man, get your butt out of here. No GMs allowed. Get out of here. There's something creepy about this man wanting to be in the locker rooms. Get your butt out of here. This is for the team and the coach. You see what I'm saying, Jose? Where's your Super Bowl ring, Jason Witten? You don't get to come up in here telling us what to do. Sit your butt down somewhere. What does Jason Witten has, y'all? Where's his cachet? Kellen Moore. If I'm not mistaken, Dak Prescott is what, the same age or older than Kellen Moore? You don't get to tell me what to do. Sit down somewhere. How you gonna teach me and I'm more successful than you, Kellen Moore, in the NFL? Sit down somewhere. Dallas Cowboys need to coach, y'all. They need to show enough coach. Chris Jones? I'm gonna say it in incorrect English. Deion Sanders ain't coming to the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't got nothing to offer him. What they got to offer him? The last Super Bowl they won was when he was on the team. Isn't that ironic? The last Super Bowl they won, Deion Sanders was on the team. And he was a huge contributor to why they won the Super Bowl. They need Deion Sanders. They're just not going to get him. I'm not worried about what you're talking about, Dory. You don't need to be top 15. And I keep trying to tell folks like you don't know football. I don't need a top 30 quarterback in actuality if I got a team around him. I'll take Trent Dilfer and I'll beat the brakes off of you with Patrick Mahomes if you give me a team. I'm not even dealing with people like you today. You don't know football. I don't need a top 15 quarterback to roll up. I don't need a top 15 quarterback to beat anybody. I need a team to beat everybody. You are part of the problem. You are part of that toxic Dallas Cowboy fan base that every time a quarterback roll up in here, the toxic Dallas Cowboy fan base always got to hate on him because they're always comparing him to somebody. Find you somewhere else to troll. We talk facts over here. Deion Sanders will bring the dog out of any player that has some potential. He will. But I got news for us. Deion ain't coming. I'm saying it. He ain't coming to Dallas. He don't need Jerry's money. He got the cachet. He got the persona. Everybody wants a piece. Has anybody seen all the endorsement deals Deion Sanders has? Deion don't need the Dallas Cowboys to get endorsement deals. Deion Sanders don't need the Dallas Cowboys to get sponsors. Deion Sanders don't need Jerry Jones. He don't need his money. Deion got money. Deion got cachet. Deion got Super Bowl rings. Not just with the Dallas Cowboys last time I checked. Deion Sanders got Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. You don't need Dallas. I'm laughing at us. I be laughing at folk like this guy coming here talking about Dak. I be laughing at folk like him. Rolling up in there talking about Dak not top 15. The Dallas Cowboys not top 15. Can I drop that bomb on you? We're not top 15. Ain't been top 15. Dak Prescott ain't been here 28 years. He ain't been here since Deion Sanders wasn't here in 1995. Get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. It's that part of the fan base that's a problem. It's the problem with this franchise. It's toxic. Don't know football. Be the same people talking about, oh, it's that contract, why they can't sign players. No, it's because we don't have a GM. That's why we can't do anything with the salary cap. Everybody else can manage the salary cap. They can sign players. But the only team that can't sign players is the most valuable franchise in the NFL with $11 billion, and they can't figure out a way to make $11 billion and manage the salary cap at the same time. Miss me. Get out. Get out. I'm the wrong one. Get out. I'm the wrong one. I'm the wrong one. Get out. Get out. You're not going to destroy anybody. Why don't you go on your own channel since you're so good at what you do? And why don't you pull your own audience in? I think you'll be good. I think you'll be great at it. But we don't need you here. I'm like Deion Sanders. I don't need you. You here. I'm not where you are. I'm here. I don't need you. This is the problem. This Dallas Cowboy fan base is toxic. And I'm telling us, why would Deion Sanders want to come here? Why would he want to? Why would he want to come here and risk a fan base turning on him if the owner does not give him what he needs, give him what he wants, gives him all the tools that he needs to win? Any coach coming here, he better recognize, and I quote Jerry Jones, what he told Stephen A. Smith when he told the whole world he was about to sign Dak Prescott to $60 million. You know what he told the whole world? Dak Prescott's going to have to do more with less. It's pitiful. Wicked, stay tuned. I got that on the plan. I'm wrapping up the Colorado Buffaloes for the first hour. But I wanted to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes because it's relevant. The Colorado Buffaloes are relevant. And they are relevant simply because I'm laughing because Deion Sanders to me is the epitome of he don't need us. I laugh at Dallas Cowboy fans, and I'm one of the biggest Dallas Cowboy fans. Anybody will tell you I'm one of the biggest Dallas Cowboy fans you will ever run into. I am. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to defend them with facts. I'm going to defend them with facts to the hilt. And when I can't defend them with facts, I'll concede on things. I will concede. And I'm conceding on this. Who are we? Who are we? Running around here, we got a coaching list talking about potential coaches for the Dallas Cowboys. Like we are the creme de la creme of the NFL, like everyone is clamoring to come here. Really? Oh, Deion Sanders is about to show us. Deion Sanders is about to show us, and he's already telling us, and we won't listen. But Deion Sanders is telling us something. Jerry, I don't need you. I don't need you. I like you, Jerry. I like the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to tell y'all something. Deion Sanders loves the Dallas Cowboys. He don't need the Dallas Cowboys. All these other coaches, they need the Dallas Cowboys. They need them. Deion don't need the Dallas Cowboys. He don't need the Dallas Cowboys. He don't. And I'm going to transition with this statement right here. Anybody who has been on this channel, it's only been here 2 months, I think Dak Prescott is literally the best thing that has happened to the Dallas Cowboys. People don't understand that to be on the Dallas Cowboys as a quarterback, when you have this standard of Roger, Staubach. And Roger, to me, isn't the problem. Because Roger did more with less than Troy Aikman had. Folk don't understand something about Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach was better than Troy Aikman. Period. End of story. No competition. None. Roger Staubach was the prototype quarterback of what you see today. They called him Roger the Dodger. Roger Staubach, man, I don't care. People always talk about, if you're black, you got speed. Roger Staubach had speed. He could run. He would fake you out whether you were black, yellow, white, or green. Roger Staubach would fake you out and destroy you on that field. Roger was the man. He could run, he was cerebral, and he had an arm out of this world. Troy Aikman, no competition for Troy Aikman. I mean, Troy Aikman, no competition for Roger Staubach. But who we keep comparing every quarterback to, we keep comparing them to Troy Aikman, and I'm telling you, it is not even, I'm not even going to say it's not right. We don't understand. We're comparing apples to oranges. We're comparing apples to walnuts. Not because Troy Aikman was better than Dak Prescott. It was better than Dak Prescott. I'm telling you, I'll say it again. I'm going to talk about it in the offseason. I'm sorry. Tony Romo is eating with those 92, 93, 94, 95 Cowboys. Tony Romo is absolutely eating. He is eating with that. And I'm telling you, Dak Prescott, that first 4-year Dak Prescott, the one that the cornerbacks and the linebackers and the safeties were all saying, man, you don't want to see this dude coming. He big. He hard to bring down. That's why they ruined his leg with the drop hip tackle. I'm telling y'all, that first 4-year Dak Prescott that was so mobile, he'd have absolutely destroyed the league with that 92, 93, 94, 95 Cowboys. Dak would have destroyed the league. He'd have destroyed it. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I know you don't want to, I know nobody want to deal with this. I'm not even going to say all the better than stuff, but I'm going to tell you this. Tony Romo was a better athlete than Troy Aikman. Go check the tape on this dude in high school. Man, folk don't understand Tony Romo was an athlete. He was a better athlete than Troy Aikman. Better athlete than Troy Aikman. Dak Prescott, undoubtedly, better athlete than Troy Aikman. You put Dak Prescott, who was a better runner than Troy Aikman and Tony Romo, you put him on those 90s Cowboy teams and he could run the ball, that team would have been that much more deadly. Because the one thing you didn't see Troy Aikman do was run. He didn't need to because he had Emmitt Smith. But could you imagine if Troy Aikman could run? Dak would have ate with those teams. And we compare Dak to these quarterbacks who had, we don't even understand. Teams don't start with the Joes. It don't even start with the X's and O's. It don't start with the Jimmys and the Joes. Do you know where the team starts? Top down. Top down. The Detroit Lions built the Detroit Lions. Not with Jared Goff. Not with that dual-headed monster running game they have. They didn't build it with the wide receiver. They didn't build it with the defense. The Detroit Lions, they built it top down. Simple concept, y'all. One thing I know as a preacher, we are built top down and we don't even realize it. Wisdom comes from above, goes into the mind. The mind controls the body. That's how things work. Top down, not bottom up. That's not how things work. Teams are built top down. Y'all want to know why Colorado went and got Deion Sanders? Because they were terrible from the bottom up. You ever heard the term toe up from the flow up? The Colorado Buffaloes were toe up. They were toe up from the floor up. You know what they said? We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it from the top down. Let's go get Deion Sanders. Dallas Cowboys are never going to be fixed. I don't care if they bring Roger Staubach in here. Prime Troy Aikman, prime Roger Staubach. I don't care if they worked out a ridiculous deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. You put the Kansas City Chiefs on this team this year, and they have the same record, if not worse. Because the Kansas City Chiefs were not built on Patrick Mahomes. See, us, the folk who don't know football, they think the Kansas City Chiefs are built on Patrick Mahomes. The Kansas City Chiefs are built on Andy Reid. Stupid. I don't have time for folk who don't know football. I'm not entertaining it today. I'm going to tell you something that needs to happen. I mean, I think that if Deion was to come to Dallas, and as much as I like Dak Prescott, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was Dak Prescott, I would not want the pressure of playing for the Dallas Cowboys with Deion Sanders here. Not that I don't think Dak could handle it, but because I think the fan base would go absolutely crazy. Because if they got Deion, they would be calling for Shador. If they got Deion, if we got Deion, the toxic part of the fan base would be calling for Shador. It would take Deion Sanders to literally come in here and tell this fan base to shut up, settle down, Dak is great, and we're going to win with him. It's the only way it would work. And I think Deion has the cachet to do that. But I think the only way for the Cowboys to get Deion Sanders, Jerry turns over all coaching responsibilities, all hiring of the coaches, all personnel decisions, and he gets to be involved in the drafts and the trade. That's the only way. That's number one, only way Deion's coming here. Number two, Dak Prescott, you're either going to let him put the weapons around Dak Prescott, or Dak Prescott agrees to a trade to where you're going to give up 2 first-round draft picks next year and the year after. You're going to get Shador Sanders, find a way to get Travis Hunter. Shiloh, I got news for us. The one person of the Sanders family that will be a Dallas Cowboy is going to be Shiloh Sanders. You can book it. I'll be shocked if Shiloh Sanders is not on the Dallas Cowboys next year. He's not going to go in the top 3 rounds. He'll probably go in the 5th, early 5th, mid 4th. I believe Jerry Jones is going to go get Shiloh Sanders. But for the rest of it, and this is why I say, if you'll notice on one of my points, this ain't dissing Dak. This is being real about us if we were ever to get Deion Sanders. This point, the point I made is everything would have to be perfect. You're literally turning the franchise over to Deion Sanders. You're turning it over. And not only are you turning it over, Nisi, you made a good point. Michael would be put on notice. Trade Michael. That's what you did when Jimmy came. You traded the best piece on your team. You traded Herschel Walker. So if you're going to get Deion, it has to be the perfect situation. He don't need other egomaniacs in here. You know who you got to get rid of? Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs. Trade them. You can work with Dak Prescott. You can work with Dak Prescott. You could actually probably trade Micah and get Travis Hunter, get Shiloh, might not get Shador. But the situation would have to be perfect. It would have to be perfect. You're going to have to find a way to get 2 of those 3 pieces in here because the Sanders family are coming to the reality of, on the pro level, there is no way that Deion Sanders is going to be able to get 3 of 3. He's going to have to settle for 2 of 3. It'll have to be Travis and Shiloh. I don't think Shador is a possibility unless you can convince Dak Prescott. But if I'm Dak Prescott, I bet you this. I'll agree to a trade. But I'm taking your draft with me. Because I'm going to make sure that whatever team I go to, that team is going to get built. And, boy, we're going to run roughshod over you when we come back. It's the only way I'm doing it if I'm Dak. I'm going to pick the team, and I'm taking your draft picks with me. It's the only way I'm doing it. It's the only way I'm doing it. It's the only way I'm doing it. Appreciate you, DA. It's the only way I'm doing it. It's the only way I'm doing it. I don't know what else to tell you. You said I'm only listening because it's so outrageous. I'm glad he's not our GM. I mean, if you're talking about me, so you're glad Jerry Jones your GM? I could walk in the door and do better than Jerry Jones, I promise you. I could walk in the door and do better than Jerry Jones. Most of the Dallas Cowboy fan base could walk into the Dallas Cowboys offices and do better than Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones has destroyed this team. He's destroyed it. He has. He's literally destroyed this team. And he's not getting, I'm telling y'all, let me put his picture back up here again. We're not getting this man. Dallas Cowboy fans are delusional. There is a percentage of us, I'm guessing 15 to 25% of us, we're delusional. We're sitting back acting like this man right here who's having fun winning, having fun building, having fun changing the lives of young men and women, a man who has the world at his feet, endorsements, sponsors, TV shows. Dion is about to go to the precipice. He's about to go to Mount Rushmore. And we're so arrogant that we think he want to come here and deal with this fan base, this owner, and then let the media turn on him if the owner don't give him what he need. Dion telling y'all, man, he telling all of us, y'all can miss me. I've been a part of the Dallas Cowboys. I saw what he did when he got rid of Jimmy. I came with the Barry Switzer thing. I know what's going on. I was here with Barry Switzer. I know what Jimmy did. You think I want to be a piece of that? Man. Cowboys for life. I'm sorry. You're not Cowboys for life. I got to take you to school just for a moment. You are absolutely delusional if you think that this league didn't think Dak Prescott was worth anything. See, you're in the Dallas Cowboy world. That's your problem. You're a part of what I'm talking about. You're in the Dallas Cowboy world of we're so good and Dak's so bad. As if we've been winning for 28 years before Dak Prescott got here. He's the worst quarterback we've had. Miss me. You are part of that fan base that did the same thing to Tony Romo. And we sit up and pretend like Tony Romo had the teams that Troy Aikman had. No, there was a couple of teams that Tony Romo had. They were really good. Were they as good as Troy Aikman's teams? Because I'm going to take you to school again. Teams don't start from the bottom up. They don't start from the quarterback, the running back, the team around. No, they start top down. GM, coach. What kind of GM? What is he putting around you? Is he empowering the coach? Does the coach get to make the decisions? There has not been a coach since Jimmy Johnson that has been allowed to make any decisions on this team. None. Jerry is in the locker room. He's in the playbook. He's in the planning. He's in everything. You cannot win. I don't care who it is. You're not winning as long as Jerry Jones is doing that. And I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm telling us. Appreciate you, DA. Keith Rivera says either him or Kellen is going to be a yes man, and it's over. I'm just going to tell us right now, and that's what we don't understand. Dak Prescott has been successful in spite of Jerry Jones. Tony Romo. As much as I like Dak more than Tony Romo, I'm going to defend Tony Romo too. Tony Romo on any other team was eating. People do not understand how talented Tony Romo was. I mean, his body was raggedy. he was glass, man. Tony Romo was absolutely talented. He was absolutely talented. I'm telling you, this Dallas Cowboy fan base is very arrogant. We act like Dak Prescott. We act like Tony Romo. We act like they've been the problem of this franchise. They are not the problem of this franchise. They never was and they never will be. The problem of this franchise, you cannot build a team. Nothing is built from the ground up. You build it from the top down. And even when you build it from the top down, the first thing you have to put in is the foundation. The foundation is not the quarterback. The foundation is not the running back. Do y'all know what the foundation was of the 70s and the 80s Dallas Cowboys? It was not Roger Staubach. It was Tom Landry. Tex Schramm let Tom Landry run the team. Jimmy Johnson ran the team when they built the team. When Jerry took over building the team, he's never built a complete team. Jimmy built complete teams. Complete. We don't understand. A team is not complete because it has an elite quarterback. Because if it's built because of an elite quarterback, you got to explain to me why Patrick Mahomes didn't go number 1 in the draft. Why did he win the Heisman Trophy at Texas Tech? Why wasn't Texas Tech number 1 in the country? You know who took their team to number 1 in the country? Rain Dakota Prescott. His name is Dak. Name me anybody you know from Dak Prescott's team in college. Name them. He took them to number 1 in the country, and he came up against Alabama. Name them. Teams aren't built on quarterbacks, though. Because Alabama wasn't built on quarterbacks, wasn't built on running backs. It was built on Nick Saban. Teams are built from the top down, y'all. And Colorado is showing us this exactly. We're watching this with Colorado. So for all you Colorado fans, I'm done giving y'all flowers. I appreciate you. If you want to hang around and watch the rest of the show, you can. But we're going to switch gears.
Yes! Here we go!
Got a few stories I want to touch on. The one story I want to touch on, and I kind of got a list here. The one story I want to touch on is this story about Jason Witten. This story about Jason Witten, y'all. This story is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, this is the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. And all of us who've been here, see, I'm showing my age. I've been here. I've been here. I literally saw Roger Staubach play on television. I don't need NFL films to know who Roger Staubach was. I don't need NFL films to know who Randy White is. I don't need NFL films to know about Tony Dorsett. I don't need NFL films for those things. I saw these players play. And I also saw Tom Landry on the sideline. Very buttoned up. Very buttoned up. Faith in God. Wore a suit on the sideline. Famous for the hat that he wore on the sideline. The man didn't take no mess. And that's why the Dallas Cowboys were successful for so long under Tom Landry. Unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated. And so then we got Jimmy came in here. And, of course, Jimmy was a very buttoned-up coach. Jimmy was a very buttoned-up coach also. And so the team won up under Jimmy Johnson. But the problem is, like I keep saying, that Jerry will not allow anyone to, will not let anyone do their job other than Jimmy, because now he wants it to be Jerry's world. You know, DA, I saw this thing about Dak Prescott. And I'm telling you why the Dak Prescott thing in 2026 is not true. Mike Fisher has been talking about this. Now, I've also been looking at the salary cap. And the reality of this is that because Dak Prescott got this injury, if I'm not mistaken, something kicked in on his contract to where now 2026 is fully guaranteed. But I'm also going to tell you why I know they're not going to let go of. I'm sorry. For anybody who don't like Dak Prescott, find you another team. I'm a grown man. Some folks are grown. There's women on here like Nisi, Roberta, Angie, who come on here. They're very good with football too. They're grown women. I'm a grown man. There's other people on here, being on here, Keith Rivera, Jose Quavado, others. We're grown men. Grown men don't continue to complain about spilled milk. Dak Prescott is here to stay. Barring injury, take out Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is here to stay. We're not getting from under Dak Prescott. You know why? Because the Dallas Cowboys are going to flip a switch on Dak Prescott's contract as soon as the season over. They're going to flip the switch on Dak Prescott's contract, and they're going to extend that contract into those void years, and Dak Prescott is going to be here all the way at least through the 2027 season. At least through the 2027 season. But if I'm Dak Prescott, boy, y'all do not understand. I laugh at us as Dallas Cowboy fans. We're acting like we want to get rid of Dak Prescott so bad. For what? What do we want to get rid of Dak Prescott for? We haven't won in 28 years. And the same folk who say Jerry, Stephen is the problem, trust Jerry and Stephen to actually go get a quarterback that's going to come into Dallas and win. Do we not realize Tony Romo and Dak Prescott were both luck? They were luck. Tony Romo was not expected to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He wasn't. He wasn't expected to play for the Dallas Cowboys. It just so happens that Tony Romo was actually a really good athlete. And when Tony Romo got his opportunity, Tony Romo took advantage of it. See, some of y'all, boy, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I can't even tell folk no more they don't know football. Heck, you just do what you want to do. You think you know football, you can just pretend all you want to. I want y'all to see something. The internet is undefeated. So we're going to trust Jerry Jones that once Dak Prescott is gone, that he's going to actually pick another great quarterback. I got news for us. Tony Romo was pure luck. Undrafted in the 2003 NFL draft and was signed by the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent. So y'all telling me, for all you football aficionados, so you're telling me the Dallas Cowboys did that on purpose? Troy Aikman. Does anybody know where Troy Aikman was drafted? For all you Dallas Cowboy fans, I don't even think we have to look it up. Anybody know what round was Troy Aikman drafted in? Anybody want to take a wild guess? What draft pick was he? What was he, y'all? Was he a 6th round draft pick? What was Troy Aikman? What round of the draft did he go in, y'all? Y'all help me out. Because sometimes you just got to prove things through silliness. The Dallas Cowboys did not know Tony Romo was going to be Tony Romo. They literally got lucky. They got lucky with Tony Romo. Some of us may not realize and remember the days in between Troy Aikman and Tony Romo. They were an unmitigated mess. They were an unmitigated mess. Thank you, Freddie. I know you know. Aikman was a number 1 draft pick from UCLA, and we're thinking that this team is actually going to go out and pick a great quarterback when you better believe this team don't hit on drafts since Jimmy has been gone. They've hit on some players in the draft, and they had a string where they drafted well. But when it came to quarterbacks, they were stinking it up. They were stinking it up. And I got news for you about Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys lucked up on Dak Prescott. He never was supposed to play. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round draft pick, fell in the draft because of, I think it was a DUI. He fell in the 4th round. Everyone now looks at that draft and they all say that Dak Prescott should have been late 1st round, early 1st round at the latest, and the Dallas Cowboys never would have got their hands on Dak Prescott because everyone knows, looking at Dak Prescott, who know football, it's not Dak Prescott, that's the problem. It's Jerry Jones. He's always been the problem. The only time he wasn't the problem, when he chose not to be the problem. He let Jimmy Johnson do what Jimmy Johnson do. Jimmy Johnson got the team winning, and then Jerry took the team back, and the team started losing. I'm laughing at us. We talk out of every side of our face except from our brain. Dak's the problem. Hadn't been here for 28 years. He's the problem. I guess Tony Romo was the problem. We don't understand. We don't know what we're talking about. And that's the problem. We don't understand how to build a team. Even Jerry, when he wanted to build a team, what did he do? I got to get somebody who knows football. I know what I'll do. I'll go get my old buddy Jimmy Johnson. He's been successful in college. He's tearing it up in college. I'll go get Jimmy Johnson, and I'll let Jimmy wreck the league. And Jimmy told Jerry, you take care of the business. I'll take care of football. That's what he told him. That's how the team was successful. See, some of us don't realize we're talking out of both sides of our mouth. We're saying Dak's the problem. Get rid of Dak. Now go get another quarterback. Well, who are you going to get? Because I got a whole show planned for us. Who are you going to get? Because one, when Todd Francis came to Jerry Jones, I promise you, he came to Jerry Jones and said, if you don't sign Dak Prescott, we got this team. Because I promise you, you cannot negotiate unless you have something to bargain with. Some of us don't even know business. You can't bargain with me if you don't have something that I want. Or better yet, you can't bargain with me unless there's somebody else who wants what I have. Unless somebody wants what I have. I can bargain with you when I say you either pay me or this is who I got lined up. You can't negotiate. Jerry didn't sign Dak Prescott out of guilt. He earned it. He didn't sign Dak Prescott because he had to, because in actuality, Jerry Jones could have got from up under Dak Prescott's contract by letting him play it out and then taking a massive $55 million hit this coming season. He could have did it. Why didn't he? Why didn't he do it? Jerry Jones could have literally walked away from Dak Prescott. Why didn't he do it, football aficionados? Did Dak Prescott put a gun to his head? Did he have a picture of him with a monkey and a banana? Did he blackmail him? I can't pressure you into doing anything unless I got leverage. The no trade clause was not leverage. Dak was walking away scot-free. Okay, he's terrible like everyone says. He's terrible. Let him walk away scot-free. I don't need to get anything for Dak Prescott. Let him walk away scot-free. We don't understand business. We don't understand bargaining, and we don't understand football. Todd Francis told us something, and the same thing he's going to tell us with Brandon Aubrey. Jerry, I got news for you. If you don't make Brandon Aubrey the highest paid kicker in the NFL, Todd Francis is going to roll up in his office, kick his feet up on the desk, and he's going to tell Jerry Jones, if you don't make Brandon Aubrey the highest paid kicker, watch this, leverage. I have 15 teams that are ready to take Brandon Aubrey off your hands. And we don't understand football if we don't think there were at least 5 to 10 teams that were ready to take Dak Prescott off of Jerry Jones' hands and not have to give up any trade, not have to give up any draft capital, not have to trade. You telling me I'm going to get Rain Dakota Prescott. I'm going to get Rain Dakota Prescott for free. He just going to walk onto the team. This is what we're saying. We're saying out of both sides of our mouth that Dak Prescott is terrible. And we're going to trust Jerry Jones. This is what Jerry Jones did after Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, unfortunately, Troy Aikman fell to the curse of Jerry Jones. See, I'm about to break y'all all the way down because some of y'all think y'all know. You don't know anything. I'm not even insulting you. I'm just telling you. The facts are the facts, and facts don't care about feelings. I don't care about your feelings. I'm going to break you all the way down. Welcome, Aaron. Anybody know what happened in 1993? 1993 is the last year of one Jimmy Johnson. Jerry Jones told Jimmy Johnson, we can basically win with any coach. Cowboys still had Troy Aikman in 1994. The Cowboys wheeled their way back after losing. They didn't go to the Super Bowl in 94, but they went back to the Super Bowl, and it's 1995. The Cowboys, they had Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, and a plethora of other players. And they wound up, in spite of Barry Switzer and Jerry Jones, they won the Super Bowl in 1995. And the beloved Troy Aikman, who everyone says is so much better than Dak Prescott. I want you to look at his record. Read it and weep. 0-11. Battling Steve Walsh for his job. 7-8. 7-5. 13-3. 11-3. Guess what happened? Jimmy Johnson comes on board. 13-3, 11-3. Jimmy Johnson gets fired. 10-4, 12-4. I want you to see what Troy Aikman looked like without Jimmy Johnson. I want you to read it and weep. I want you to cry yourself to sleep because you're obviously in dreamland. Troy Aikman 1996, 10-5. Troy Aikman in 1997, 6-10. Troy Aikman in 1998, 7-4. Troy Aikman in 1999, 7-7. Troy Aikman in 2000, 4-7. Do I need to say more? They would burn Dak Prescott's house down if he had those records. That's Troy Aikman. You want to know why? Because you build a team from the top down. When Jimmy was gone, Troy was gone. Troy was absolutely gone. Troy was a shell of himself after that last Super Bowl. I know what I'm talking about. You build a team from the top down. That's why Troy Aikman to this day. Troy don't fool with Jerry the way Jerry wants him to. Troy still resents Jerry. He still resents Jerry. He still resents him because he destroyed a dynasty. And if you go back and look at Troy Aikman's stats, no, you don't need to look at Troy Aikman's stats. You need to look at the players around him. That's what you need to look at. Look at the coaches around him. That's what you need to look at. That's why Troy Aikman knows football, because he knows what those Super Bowl teams look like. They had Deion Sanders. Tell me one corner. Tell me one corner Tony Romo or Dak Prescott had like Deion Sanders. Name them. Name them, because there's never been another one like him. Name me another defensive end that they picked up in free agency like Charles Haley. Name them. We're talking about Dak Prescott. No, you need to talk to me about Troy Aikman from 96 to 2000. You tell me when Dak Prescott has ever went on this type of run. 10-5, 6-10, 7-4, 7-7, 4-7. Tell me when. Dak Prescott wouldn't be able to come outside. He wouldn't be able to come outside if he had these records. And then we talking about Jerry Jones. Oh, get rid of Dak Prescott because we need to get a better quarterback. Really? Let me tell you what he did after Troy Aikman. Anybody remember Quincy Carter? I remember Quincy Carter. Anybody remember Chad Hutchinson? Anybody remember Quincy Carter again? Vinny Testaverde? Anybody remember Drew Bledsoe came to the team? And oh, here we go. Tony Romo fell into our lap. Tony Romo fell into our lap. Tony Romo, 6-4, 13-3, 8-5, 11-5. Joe Kittner, 4-5. Tony Romo, obviously, 1-5. Something happened. Tony Romo, 8-8. Tony Romo, 8-8. Tony Romo, 8-7. Tony Romo, 12-3. Matt Castle, 1-6. Do we not understand that this franchise you can tell me anything you want to, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Dak Prescott touchdown in 2016. I want you to look at this man's record. Read it and weep. 13-3, 9-7, 10-6, 8-8. Got hurt, 2-3. This man bounced back, 11-5, 8-4, 12-5. This is Dak Prescott. This is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott gonna have every record in Dallas before it's over. Only problem is he's not gonna get a Super Bowl because they're not gonna put the right coach with him. And maybe Jerry will surprise me. Maybe he'll surprise me, and I'm hoping Jerry's gonna surprise me. But I'm telling you this. If Jerry brings this hot, stinking mess in here, Jason Witten is Cowboys fans convinced Coach Jason Witten is Jerry Jones' next hire. Jerry, a lover of movies, thinks Jason Witten is the NFL embodiment of John Wayne. Would the Cowboys like to have this particular new sheriff in town? Y'all ready for some more facts? He said Jason Witten was John Wayne. Are we talking about John Wayne, the actor, as in the roles he played in the movies? Or are we talking about John Wayne, the real person? Because I don't know John Wayne, the real person. I only know what I saw on the movies. This is the exact problem wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones don't want a coach. Jerry Jones wants an actor. This is a hot, stinking mess. We're actually saying that this same coach, this man is talking about Jason Witten. Like Jason Witten is the next best thing coming up on the horizon. And I promise you that he's the only one that thinks that. Says that Jones said on Friday on 105.3 The Fan whether he can envision Witten having a big-time coaching future. Without hesitation, yes, he has something that you can't draw up. What's that, Jerry? Because I know that there's something that he can't draw up. Super Bowls. Don't you bring this hot, stinking mess in here. I'm laughing at us. Quarterback is the least of our problems. It's the least of our problems. This is a hot, stinking mess. There it is. There go Grandpa Jerry again. He the same man who said the Friday before, Jerry, do you think the team is going to be able to do the same thing it does when Dak Prescott's on the field? Oh, yeah, very similar. We're going to have the whole repertoire. 45 yards, Jerry. $45 yards. Comes back on the radio. Oh, well, Cooper Rush, he got hurt on that first fumble. He strained his neck. That's why he didn't play well. That's not the Cooper Rush we all know. No, that's the Cooper Rush we know. I've already broke Cooper Rush down. That 2022 season was absolutely mythological, and it was carried by the defense. Cooper Rush, he had 3 decent games. I'll even give him good. Cincinnati Bengals hadn't won a game. They were in a slump. We wouldn't have want to see them later on in the season. We beat the New York Giants. Whoop-de-doo. The Washington Commanders were a hot mess. We beat them. The Los Angeles Rams beat themselves. They beat us on the field. Cooper Rush completed 10 passes, 102 yards. He was atrocious. The Rams fumbled the ball twice and threw an interception. I remember the game vividly. They beat themselves. And then we played the Eagles. And just like last week in 2022, in week 8, the Eagles made the pumpkin turn back to a pumpkin. Cooper Rush was atrocious. What was he, 18 for 38, 3 interceptions, 189 yards, something like that? No, that's who he is, Jerry. Y'all don't understand something. Jerry lives in his head. Jerry lives in the past. Jerry lives in his head. This man says, Jones didn't pull out the John Wayne comparison, opting to go another direction, mentioning Lions head coach Dan Campbell, who happens to be a Texas native and former Cowboys backup to Witten. Says Jones, Jason is very sophisticated when it comes to understanding football and all the nuances, but more important than anything, he really does understand the physical and the mentality of being physical. And that part of it, without question, he can become an NFL coach. He has an extraordinary work ethic. He can be a top coach. This is who we're trusting to get the next quarterback. This is who we're trusting. He got lucky with Dak Prescott. It's why he resents Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was not supposed to play. Dak Prescott is Jason Garrett fighting Jerry Jones. That's what Dak Prescott is. And Dak Prescott proved who he is. And Jerry had no choice but to pay him. Because Mike Tomlin was ready to move everything around. He was bringing in Dak Prescott. Everybody knew it. Everybody was moving everything around. If Dak Prescott would have hit that free agency market, Dak Prescott would have proved to us delusional Dallas Cowboy fans, these Dallas Cowboy loving, Dak Prescott hating, living in the past like Jerry Jones fans, some team would have took Dak Prescott and won a Super Bowl with him, and everybody would have had egg on their face. This Jerry Jones right here. See the problem with Jerry Jones? This is where he lives. Jerry Jones lives in moments. Now, I could be in the moment on Jason Witten. I remember when Jason Witten did this. Is Jason Witten the ultimate tough guy? You better believe he is. I believe Jason Witten does have a work ethic. I believe he has all of that. But Jerry, you have created a Barry Switzer country club, Cottonelle mentality, media-loving, darling culture. I don't care what Jason Witten is. He's not coming in here and changing this team. He's not. And Jerry, you don't need somebody who's tough. Tough can't be the resume, bro. Tough can't be the resume. You need somebody with some skins. You need somebody with some skins. There's a reason why Michael Irvin is pushing for Deion Sanders. His persona is bigger than yours. His persona is so large that there are probably a lot of players that would listen to Deion Sanders. And the ones who wouldn't listen, Deion would clean them out. Deion would absolutely clean them out. You would get draft picks, you'd get draft capital, and you would be able to build a team. But I don't care what you do. You can pull off the trade of the century. You can bring Patrick Mahomes himself in here. But he ain't winning on this team. He ain't winning the way you're doing being the GM. He's not winning on this team, y'all. The real Darryl said Cooper Rush had more passing yards than the quarterback at Air Force by 24 yards. That's sad. And Jerry Jones is going into this game, and Jerry Jones is still singing the praises of Cooper Rush. I'm not listening to nobody talk about Jerry Jones. I'm not listening to anybody talking about Dak Prescott. I'm not listening. This man lucked up. He lucked up on Dak Prescott. He lucked up on Tony Romo. But the next one is going to be on him. The next one is going to be on him. And I'm going to show us by facts, not fiction, not conjecture. I'm going to show us by facts. We also need to get Shedeur Sanders out of our head. Get this Shedeur Sanders pipe dream out of your head. Dak Prescott's here to stay. I'm loving it. I don't care who like it or don't like it. I don't care who love it or like it. I'm glad that Dak Prescott is a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott is here to stay, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. His contract is ironclad. They're not getting up under that contract. And if I'm Dak Prescott, I'll be honest with you. I wish they would let me go. Do y'all know that Dak Prescott already has $89 million of the Dallas Cowboys money in his pocket? I think it's somewhere like 80 to 89 million. That's what the signing bonus was. That's guaranteed in the bank. Nothing they can do about it. This season right here he's in, guaranteed. 2025, guaranteed. 2026, no matter what you do, guaranteed. Dak Prescott is going to get the opportunity again of a lifetime. Dak Prescott will be 33, 34, just turned 34 And if the Cowboys decide to let go of Dak Prescott, and they're still going to be paying him until 2030, I guarantee you, because all of those void years that they put on that contract all the way through 2030, and they're going to kick that money onto the 2030 years. So even when you kick that money on there, you Dallas Cowboy geniuses who don't know business of football nor football, whatever quarterback you get, he better be dirt cheap. You better be dirt cheap. Because you're not going to be able to afford to pay anybody that's going to be better than Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott will be 33, 34 years old. He'll still be in top shape. And he's going to go somewhere else. And I promise you, Dak Prescott is too good of a man. He's too good of a man that he's not going to win in this league. He's already been winning. I've already showed you the record. His record is already better than the previous two quarterbacks. Dak Prescott's going to win in this league, whether it be with the Dallas Cowboys or not. But the Jason Witten thing, it's insanity. It's insanity. Not going to happen. I think what is probably going to happen is I'm not going to be surprised if it's Kellen Moore. I'm not going to be surprised. Kellen Moore is putting on right now. Kellen Moore is actually putting on an audition tape for the league. And if you look at what Kellen Moore is doing, he's in the top 10 of all the offensive statistical categories. He's running the ball 55% of the time. I mean, he is doing some damage. And I got a funny feeling that Jerry Jones is about to go in this draft. And I think Jerry Jones is going to try and redeem himself. He's got to cash in on Dak Prescott. Y'all may not realize this, but there is more than Jerry Jones making these decisions with the Dallas Cowboys. And they're all saying the same thing. No, we're not paying Dak Prescott this money and not cash in on it. They have to cash in on it. They have to. And so what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to do what all of the other teams are doing when they pay their quarterbacks. The Baltimore Ravens, they put a running back. They went and got him a wide receiver. They're putting pieces around Lamar Jackson. He's 2-7 in the play, but 2-5 in the playoffs too, 2-7, whatever. Same record as Dak pretty much. He's only won 2 playoff games. They're putting players around him. Jared Goff, they put players around him. Everybody that's signing these quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa, they got players around him. Everybody who signs these quarterbacks, they put players around him. The Rams went and got Matthew Stafford. What did they do? They put a super team around him. The Philadelphia Eagles, they signed Jalen Hurts. What did they do? They put a super team around him. And Jalen Hurts is not better than Dak Prescott, but they put a super team around him. Dan Campbell, what do you think he's doing? Dan Campbell is going to put a super team around Jaden Daniels. That's what everyone does. No one gets a quarterback and says we're going to do more with less. Nisi said Jerry probably told Kellen before he left that when Mike contract is, I'll make you head coach. He was going to do it. Jerry Jones, Nisi, and I believe me and you on the same wavelength. Jerry Jones had a plan. The same plan he had with Jason Garrett and Wade Phillips. Put the head coach on the team. Let him learn under the coach that you're going to get rid of. And then you promote said head coach. That's what he did with Jason Garrett. Jerry loved Jason Garrett. And then he ruined Jason Garrett. He was going to do the same thing with Kellen Moore. Wasn't able to do it to Kellen Moore because Mike McCarthy was smart enough that he weaseled Kellen Moore out of Dallas. When they lost that San Francisco game, he blamed it on Kellen Moore and said, oh, well, I just want to run the damn ball. Okay. Got the job and persisted not to run the damn ball. Don't run the ball. Y'all make sure if you're in here, please, if you don't mind, hit the like button on this content, whether you like it or not, because even if you don't like it, you're still being entertained. And if you're being entertained, please hit that like button so we can get into the algorithm and we can continue to grow this channel. We're going to have many other things that if you want to hate on, you're going to be able to hate on. But There are so many stories going around about the Dallas Cowboys right now, and some of them are just absolutely ludicrous. And this is kind of what this team is all about. There's another article. If y'all don't go on Athlon Sports, please do. I think that this is kind of headed up by Mike Fisher, and they got some very good writers over there. I don't necessarily agree with everything that they say, but they have some very interesting articles, and they always seem to be on the cusp of everything going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Well, there's another thing that I want you to see here. Anybody familiar with Kirk Herbstreit? Man, when I tell y'all that Kirk Herbstreit, Keith Rivera. Keith Rivera said, I see why Jerry Doze didn't want to bring in Derrick Henry because Todd Francis is his agent. Hey, better get ready. Better get ready, Cowboy fans. Some people say Brandon Aubrey is the best player on the team. Todd Francis is his agent. If Brandon Aubrey is not the highest paid kicker in the league when his contract comes up, we're going to have to look into another kicker. Brandon Aubrey going to get paid, y'all. Brandon Aubrey going to get paid. Appreciate you, Jose Corvedo. I'm trying to I keep him entertaining, and I just keep on trying to present facts. I'm just trying to present facts. I'm actually laughing that this guy, Chris Jones, actually says, with the way that this team is constructed right now, Patrick Mahomes will be winning. Patrick Mahomes isn't even winning games for his team right now. Are you following the Kansas City Chiefs? Because I don't even follow the Kansas City Chiefs, and I know these facts. They have a top 5 defense. Patrick Mahomes is not the one who's been winning the game for them. He's been helping win the games for them. He couldn't score in the third quarter against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Andy Reid unleashed Kareem Hunt on them, the running game on them, and he battered them. And that's how they got back in that game. They won the game against the Denver Broncos on a blocked field goal at the end of the game. Everybody's been talking about it. Patrick Mahomes is not even having an average year. Come on, man. You're going to have to show you know a little bit more than that. Cowboys for life. I will let my husband know your info. See, and this becomes the problem with social media. This is sports we're talking about. And I'm telling you guys, you know what? I can take some of the trolling, but the stuff I'm not going to put up with, not going to put up with all the threats, the nastiness, the stupidness. I'm not going to do it. And I really don't understand why people who, quote unquote, hate the Dallas Cowboys, or better yet, let's just give you another out. You love the Dallas Cowboys, but you hate the quarterback. Well, why are you here? Because most of us who like the Dallas Cowboys, we're true fans. We love the Dallas Cowboys, and we love the quarterback too. We root for whoever the quarterback is because we're grown men and women. We're not going to sit up and keep complaining about something that we can't change. No, what we do is we're going to go with what we have, and let's build around what we have just like everybody else is doing. That's what everyone else is doing. We're the only team that's not doing that. Angie said it best. Nobody else is doing it like us, Niecy. Nobody else is doing it like us. Nobody else said, let's sign our quarterback to top money and not put anybody around him. Cincinnati Bengals didn't do it. They're still putting players around Joe Burrow, even though it's a travesty that they're 4-6 and they've been cheated out of a couple of games. They're still putting players around Joe Burrow. They're still putting players around him. It's crazy. It's crazy. But people, all this stupid stuff about, we're not going to have all this stuff about people making threats to people and the insults and stuff like that. Stupid. It's dumb stuff. It's immature. It's childish. And that's the part of the Dallas Cowboy fan base to me that's so toxic. It's just childish. Man, this is sports. We're talking football. None of us are getting paid for this. But there's an article on the Athlon that about Kirk Herbstreit. And I thought this was so funny because Kirk Herbstreit's been saying some stuff that's been just out of pocket. But at the same time, I can't argue with him. Kirk Herbstreit delivers brutal two-word description of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, hold on just a second. Nope. Not going to play this game right here. Nope. Nope, and nope. Not going to do it. I'm just telling you, whoever you are, if you're going to be on here and you're going to be insulting people on here and saying things about their family and you talking about meeting somebody outside, well, you know what? You're not going to be on here. You're not going to make threats towards me or anybody else on here. It's just not going to happen. And it's not funny. I don't understand. These cannot be grown folk. These cannot be grown men harassing a woman like this. This cannot be grown. This cannot be grown men. This is stupid. Let's cut all the insults. But we're not gonna do that stuff. I mean, the trolling. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some of the things that about the Dallas Cowboys, some things we just can't deny, and we can take that stuff. But when we start harassing folk, talking about their husbands and wives and personal stuff, that's stupid. So, I want you to see what Kirk Herbstreit said here. Kirk Herbstreit describes the Cowboys in 2 words. And the funny thing is, I couldn't even argue with him. It says here, when teasing the game for ESPN during Saturday's edition of College Game Day, veteran analyst Kirk Herbstreit took aim at the Cowboys with a brutal jab. Herbstreit described this year's Cowboys team as a train wreck. I couldn't even argue. I mean, I'd like to, but I mean, I can't even argue. Dallas Cowboys are a train wreck. It says, just keep putting Dallas in these high-profile windows. They just keep losing games. That is a train wreck, Herbstreit said. Other than that, what's your opinion on the Cowboys? I mean, what else can you say? What else can you say? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Herbstreit says it's awful. And, you know, I was looking at something here. I've been hearing talk. And I'm pretty sure we may see something with the Cowboys that we have never seen before. I want to show you a couple of things here that's absolutely astounding. I'm going to show you a couple of things that are astounding. I don't know if you've ever looked at this before. There's this list. It's the most watched NFL regular season games ever. Wicked. I'm going to chime in on this piece right here. That's what Derrick Henry is for. Now, let me apply this to Dak Prescott. You know what the Baltimore Ravens finally said? Let me step in here. I'll show you how this works. This is why I say people don't understand the business of football. They don't understand football as a whole a lot of times. We're talking sometimes out of emotion, but we're not looking at the business and the facts, because the business and the facts will tell you everything you need to know. I'm gonna show you a couple of things about Lamar Jackson. Then I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna move back to this thing I'm talking about with the game. I'm gonna show you the breadcrumbs. I'm gonna show you the breadcrumbs. So who on here would argue that Dak Prescott is better than Lamar Jackson? Because I'm pretty sure that most people on here will not argue, including me, that Dak Prescott is better than Lamar Jackson. And when I say better, I'm talking about talent. Because if you want to talk about the most talented quarterback, let's put that in quotations. In entire package, Lamar Jackson is the best runner. Lamar Jackson has the strongest arm. It's between him and Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, when you talk about talent, he's the most talented quarterback in the league. He's not the best quarterback in the league. Lamar Jackson is the best running quarterback in the league. Patrick Mahomes is the smartest running quarterback in the league. Patrick don't have to do it like Lamar. He don't need the video game moves. Patrick Mahomes has got to be the smartest runner, the smartest running quarterback, the most abusive running quarterback in the league that you don't want to see coming is Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen. Now, if I start talking about, though, quarterback, now let's say take the legs away. Lamar Jackson is below average. Dak Prescott without his legs, and we've seen it. We've seen how Dak Prescott has elevated without his legs. MVP season last year, he won it. They gave it to Lamar Jackson. Didn't make sense. Second team, All-Pro. Dak Prescott, one of the greatest seasons of any Dallas quarterback in history. Dak Prescott killed it last year. Only problem is they went to Green Bay. It was a mismatch. Couldn't stop the run, couldn't run the ball. Quarterbacking. Pure quarterback. I'll put Dak above Lamar and Josh. I won't put Dak above Patrick because Patrick Mahomes has what you call the total package. Smartest runner of the football. He's not he doesn't throw the ball the furthest, but the touch he puts on the football, the places he can put the football, some of the throws he makes, situationally, some of the decisions that he makes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. Dak Prescott is somewhere in there in the top 5. There are not 5 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott. When you're talking about throwing, placement, line of scrimmage, understanding the game, Dak Prescott right now, people don't understand. He's suffering from what Troy Aikman and both Tom Brady, and I'm taking Troy Aikman and Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning, 4 great quarterbacks who all said the same thing about Dak Prescott. He's incredible. Bill Belichick compared him to Joe Montana. Everyone who knows X's and O's knows ability. They know what Dak Prescott is. The emotional folk, they just want to win. And because we haven't won in games they think we should won, or the games we should have won, they discount everything Dak Prescott does. But the greats don't do that. And that's one of the reasons why Bill Belichick wants to come to the Cowboys. Because if you're a head coach and you want to come to a new team, you would rather have the quarterback situation settled. The Dallas Cowboys are appealing to Bill Belichick. That's why he's giving Dak Prescott so many compliments. Skip Bayless lost his mind when Bill Belichick compared him to Joe Montana. But I think I'm going to take Bill Belichick's word over Skip Bayless. I don't know about y'all. I mean, call me crazy. But I'm saying all of that. At the end of the day, being the best quarterback is not what is winning games. Because Tom Brady, if you look at all the attributes that I named, Tom Brady would be behind all of them. Tell me which one of those quarterbacks Tom Brady runs better than. Tell me which one of those quarterbacks Tom Brady runs smarter than. Tell me which one of those quarterbacks that Tom Brady can throw further than. Now, when it comes to the placement of the ball, I'm going to put Tom Brady just a notch above Patrick Mahomes. But where I'm going to put Tom Brady head and shoulders above all of them, even with him lacking all of those attributes, is what's above his shoulders. Tom Brady is cerebral. He's cerebral. Tom Brady is hard to beat. With all of the lack of those attributes, he's very hard to beat. He left New England, went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and won the Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. And Tom Brady is no different than most quarterbacks. They need a level of talent. They do. They all need talent. They all do. And that's why the Kansas City Chiefs put a defense around Patrick Mahomes. Because once they got rid of that cheetah named Tyreek Hill, anybody knows Patrick Mahomes hadn't looked the same since? He hadn't looked the same since. So they gave him a running game. And that's what you're watching. They're winning games now as a team. They're not putting the weight of the whole team on the shoulders of Patrick Mahomes. But let me go back to this Lamar Jackson thing. I want you to see Lamar Jackson's playoff record. One-time unanimous MVP. Two-time MVP. Run record-breaking Lamar Jackson. His playoff record is 2-5. Is he better than Dak Prescott? I'm waiting on all the Dak haters. Is Lamar Jackson better than Dak Prescott? Because I'm going to paint you into a corner. Is he better than Dak Prescott? Help me out. Help me out. Is Lamar Jackson better than Dak Prescott? Because I promise you're going to tell me yes. I promise you're going to tell me yes. He's 2-5 in the playoffs. I have to drop that bomb again. Guess what Dak Prescott record is in the playoffs? Now, y'all got to explain to me how one man who everyone will say is better than Dak Prescott, and I won't even argue against you. He's better than Dak Prescott, but now you have to explain to me, how is he 2-5 in the playoffs? You want to see where I'm going to destroy your argument even more? Is Lamar Jackson better than Dak Prescott? Now, I'm taking Dak Prescott because I think Dak Prescott's a better quarterback without his legs. Lamar Jackson without his legs is less than average. I'm taking Dak Prescott. But I know a lot of y'all would rather have Lamar Jackson. But I'm laughing because you would rather have Lamar Jackson, but he has the same record as Dak Prescott in the playoffs. Oh, I'm about to hit you with some more facts. Who y'all got? Who y'all got, Cowboy fans? Who y'all got? I'm just dropping facts on you. Who y'all got? Who y'all got, Dallas Cowboy fans? If you had to choose a coach, are you choosing John Harbaugh or Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett? Who you picking? Who you picking? I'll shatter every argument you have. Because you're going to have to explain to me that if you're saying that Lamar Jackson is better than Dak Prescott, why does he have the same playoff record and better coaching? How? Explain it. Oh, wait. Who do y'all think has had the better team around them? Lamar Jackson or Dak Prescott? Because I'm going to tell you Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has had absolute teams around him. And I'm not talking about Dak Prescott teams. He's had absolutely playoff ready, run the ball, stop the run teams around him, y'all. This man has had wide receivers around him he wouldn't even throw the ball to. Give Dak Prescott Odell Beckham Jr. Watch what he do with him. Watch what Dak Prescott would do with Odell Beckham Jr. Man, Dak Prescott would have broke the league with Odell Beckham Jr. You want to know why they went and got Derrick Henry? You want to know why they went and got Derrick Henry? You know why? Because they said, hold on a second, let's go here. Because only in Dallas do they do this. Because the Dallas Cowboy fans say, oh, well, Dak Prescott is making way too much money. Well, do you know who was making way too much money before Dak Prescott? His name was Lamar Jackson. $185 million guaranteed. Why is it that we the only one get this rap? Why is it his cap hit is 22 million, 22 million, 32 million, 43 million, 74 million, and they still putting players around him, and he hasn't won anything yet? But we hate Dak Prescott. Hasn't had a better team. Hasn't had a better coach. Hasn't even had better seeds the majority of the time. Do we not realize Lamar Jackson is the reason Dak Prescott is losing some of his games on the sidelines? Lamar Jackson is losing his games between the lines. He's the one that threw the interception that ended the game for the Baltimore Ravens last year. But we want to keep talking about the interception that Dak threw against the San Francisco 49ers, the interception that he threw against the Green Bay Packers. But we don't want to talk about the interceptions that Lamar Jackson has thrown in playoffs, and that's the very reason why he's 2-5. But we hate Dak Prescott, but I bet you if you asked us, will we take Dak Prescott over Lamar Jackson, those Dak Prescott hating Dallas Cowboy loving fans, they'll tell you all day long, give me Lamar Jackson. For what? The same thing? He's going to be on a worse team, y'all. He's going to be on a worse team. He's going to have worse coaching. And you think he's coming in here and win? Let me get back to my regularly scheduled program. I don't have time tonight. The facts will speak louder than the hate. The problem is we don't like the facts because the hate make us feel good. Kirk Herbstreit is on to something. The Dallas Cowboys are playing right now in 2 primetime games. MG, you late to the party. Lamar Jackson is too. Who you taking, Lamar or Dak? I'll paint you into a corner every time, but I digress. Kirk Herbstreit is actually making an argument, and I don't know if y'all have heard people talking about this, but Kirk Herbstreit is making an argument that is starting to resonate out there. People are mad that the Dallas Cowboys have these primetime games. And people are starting to complain that they don't think the Dallas Cowboys should be allowed to have these primetime games anymore. And that's what if you pay attention to the article, that's what Kirk Herbstreit is arguing about, because he's saying we keep putting them in these primetime games and they keep getting beat like a drum. And so we have coming up Monday night, the Dallas Cowboys are going to be in primetime against the Houston Texans, and I got a funny feeling they're going to get beat like a drum. Jose, you about to get out of here? You enjoy your weekend too if you about to get out. A lot of people are complaining that the Cowboys keep getting these primetime games because that's what Kirk Herbstreit is talking about. And so a lot of people are talking that maybe the Cowboys need to be flexed out of all these primetime games. And I'm going to tell you why this is so unprecedented. If you look back over the last few years, there's a list called the most watched regular season, the most watched NFL games in the regular season. Here is the list of the top 10 most watched NFL games based on reported U.S. viewership. The list was compiled using historical data from sports media and Statista. I want you to see how crazy this is. November 24, 2022, Cowboys Giants 42.1 million. November 23rd, 2023, 41.4 million, Cowboys in Washington. Raiders and Cowboys in 2021, 40.8 million. 2016, Washington and Cowboys, 35.1 million. 1992, Cowboys and Eagles, 32.9 million. November 28, 2019, 32.6 million. November 26, 2015, 32.5 million. So when you look at this, the Cowboys, even when folk hate them, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 10 of the most watched games in the NFL have been the Dallas Cowboys. And there are now people who are arguing that they're sick of the Dallas Cowboys and they want the Dallas Cowboys to be flexed out of these primetime games. And one of the games that they're complaining about is Thanksgiving. Now, you can't do anything about a Monday night game. It is what it is. If you're scheduled on a Monday night, you're going to play on a Monday night. And more than likely, if you're scheduled on a Thursday night, you're going to play. I mean, you're just going to play. But what they're mad about is this one right here, Thanksgiving. Now, there's nothing they can do about the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys playing the Thursday night games. And the reason why they can't do anything is because when no one wanted to play on a Thursday night on Thanksgiving, well, the Dallas Cowboys agreed to play on Thanksgiving, but with the stipulation that we will always play on Thanksgiving. Well, no one thought the NFL was going to be as big as it is today, and so they gave them that spot. And so now that's why they put an extra game. I think they put an extra game now on Thanksgiving, and now they got a game on Black Friday because they're trying to get past the Cowboys having these spots, you know, them being the only team to watch on those nights. But now people are complaining because now, look at this, December the 9th. Let me see. December the 9th. What is that? So December the 9th, if I'm not mistaken, that looks like a Monday night game. And so then you look at December the 22nd, the Cowboys, 7:20. So people are mad because they want the Dallas Cowboys. See this game right here? They not only want them to be flexed out of this game, they want the Dallas Cowboys to be flexed out of this game, and even, let me get my screen here, and even the Cowboys-Eagles game, because if the Cowboys were probably going to be a good team, the Cowboys-Eagles game you see down here at the bottom probably would have been a game of the week. So people are upset, and they want the Cowboys out of these primetime spots. And I'm saying all that to say, how bad is it when the Dallas Cowboys have 7 out of 10 of the most watched games in the NFL in history, and they're wanting the Cowboys to be flexed out? Wow. Now, the real Daryl, you got to understand, we're the Dallas Cowboys. Everything is magnified. Everything we do is worse than what everyone else does. And that's the part of this franchise that is so toxic. We're treated on a different level, as if we are the Dallas Cowboys. As if we are the Kansas City Chiefs, as if we are the New England Patriots. That's how people treat this team. It's crazy the standard they put this team on. It's crazy. And so I want to round it out with a couple of other articles on the Athlon, because these things that they're being talked about with the Cowboys, it is absolutely crazy, y'all. It is absolutely crazy. So I got a question to ask y'all. I'm confused by this right here. Now, if anybody's been paying attention on this channel, how long have you heard me say that Rico Dowdle should be the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys? I've been saying it. Freddie says Goodell won't flex the boys out of primetime spots. He does, and he can kiss his job goodbye. It's crazy that people are calling for it. Well, look at what they now have. Anthony Goss has reported about the Dallas Cowboys. Anthony Goss says Cowboys changed their minds with major move at lead running back. Dallas entered the season with a running back by committee approach, but Rico Dowdle now takes over as the number one option. Now, I've been screaming this the entire season. They should have already been handing the ball to Rico Dowdle 25 to 30 times a game. I think Dak isn't hurt if they do it against the Falcons, and I think they win. I think if they do it last week against the Eagles, I don't think that game gets away from them the way that it did. I don't think Cooper Rush makes a lot of the mistakes that he made. If they would have ran the ball 45 times, I believe the Cowboys would still have an opportunity to win. Well, what I'm laughing at is I've been saying this for weeks. And now all of a sudden, Mike McCarthy says, McCarthy revealed the team will shift focus to Dowdle, making him the number one running back. I've been saying this since the Pittsburgh game. Why did it take us this long? If the Cowboys would have done this with Dak at quarterback, this team would have won games. They didn't want to win games. And I'm convinced Jerry didn't want to win games. He did not want to win games. Because with the way their line is, the only thing that really made sense was to run the ball. It's really the only thing that made sense. And it says here, Dowdle, getting the first real usage of his career, appeared far superior to option 2 Elliott, who seems to have a little tread left on his tires in his ninth pro season. On Thursday, the Cowboys made a change in their backfield structure. McCarthy revealed the team will shift the focus to Dowdle, making him the number one back. He's already been the number one back. Definitely you have to get him the ball. That's my focus, to continue to get him opportunities. He's the lead back, he said. Now, what we've been watching is Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy fighting like two little kids. Mike McCarthy wanted Aaron Jones. Jerry Jones says Aaron Jones is too expensive. I'm sure Mike McCarthy would have took Derrick Henry. Jerry Jones said Derrick Henry doesn't fit the scheme. And then persisted to go and get Ezekiel Elliott. Well, that ticked off Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy, I believe, Mike McCarthy refused to run the ball consistently because Jerry didn't get him who he wanted. But now I showed these stats 2 weeks ago that when you look at Rico Dowdle's success rate, he's one of the highest in the league. And when you look at his yards per carry, he's one of the best in the league. So now they have come to the conclusion against the Houston Texans that Rico Dowdle is going to be the focus in the game, and the stats have been screaming this for weeks. And it leads me to the question that I want to ask. Are the Cowboys trying to win? Or they want it to look like they're trying to win? It's called organic tanking. That you try to be competitive. You try to be competitive so it doesn't look like you're tanking, but you're tanking. Freddie, you make a great point. The Cowboys could go 0-16. The Lakers and the Celtics could go 0-82. The Dodgers and the Yankees could go 0-162, and people will still watch their games. I believe so too. And I think right now with the failure that the Dallas Cowboys are having, I think with the failure they're having, I think that they're even more must watch because people want to see, are they going to win a home game? I mean, it's building now. Will the Cowboys win a home game? Will the Cowboys win a home game? The Real Darryl says, Freddie, I agree. Had the Celtics lost the finals to Dallas, you would have seen videos calling Brown and Tatum chokers. Which one of them is it? I'm thinking it was the Brown kid. Isn't he the one they kept off the Olympic team? Man, these people get personal, man. Man, they get personal with some of these people. But you're right about it. See, those teams, and that's what's wrong with the NBA right now. That's what's wrong with the NBA, and that's even what's wrong with the NFL to a degree. So, if anybody didn't know it, the NBA ratings are down. And I mean way down. And the reason why they are down is because the best players in the league are old. And I don't know if it's the best players. The most popular players are old, and people are pretty much tired of watching them. Not to mention, some of them went extremely woke. And I just think that when you start talking about sports and you have a brand, it's okay if you want to vote a certain way or you want to believe a certain way. But I think you need to be careful when you're letting that stuff, if you're trying to put that stuff out in the front, and then people who don't like that stuff, they'll stop watching you. Because they're not watching for your political views. They're not watching for your religious views. I mean, I'm not on here preaching sermons per se. I'm not opening up book, chapter, and verse and breaking down the Bible for you. Because it's called Let's Talk Cowboys. People are coming here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And while I'll insert some things about my belief, I'm not going to lead with my belief. That's just who I am. My belief is who I am. And so these and many reasons people are no longer watching. And so the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll do it because the Dallas Cowboys are still must-watch TV. They are. they'll still watch TV. But I'm gonna keep my eyes on this because I'm gonna keep my eyes on this because I think it's very, very interesting that they're talking about for the first time in forever taking Dallas out of these spots. And I think it's going to start resonating louder and louder the more they lose, especially if they lose to the Giants, man, on Thanksgiving. Woo! Keith said the Cowboys will not win a home game this year. They're going to lose to the Giants on Thanksgiving. I think Brian Daboll, I think his name is, he's going to get revenge on the Cowboys. He's going to get revenge on the Cowboys. And I don't think there's anything anybody can do about it. And so the last two issues on here that caught my eye, I'm telling y'all, if y'all are not on the Athlon, y'all should definitely go check them out. They always got some crazy stuff they're talking about. And I'll have a website myself in 2025, Lord willing, talking about some of these crazy things too. They had a couple of other stories that, and the reason why I'm asking, I wonder what is y'all's confidence level, as in, can the Cowboys pull this off? Can the Cowboys pull off getting into the top 5 in the draft? And that's how we're going to end the show. I'm going to show you some things about I want to talk about some things about the draft. But I want you to look at the heading of this article. I mean, these articles are crazy. It says, Cowboys revealing their truth about confidence level during losing streak. Okay. So then, as I'm reading the article, the part that's comical is Jalen Tolbert. It says with the Houston Texans up next, Dallas's confidence, if it hasn't already, is about to get severely tested. But Jalen Tolbert has full faith that if everyone does their job, the outcome will be favorable. What is favorable? Is he talking about winning? It says everybody in this locker room is confident, Tolbert said. So it's just about molding that confidence together, going out there one play at a time, being fully confident, being fully aware of what we have to do and the job that we have to do and doing it. Just not beating ourselves, taking care of everything that we have to take care of on this side of the ball, on this team. And I think we will love the outcome when we do that. What's the outcome? What's the outcome? I don't understand it. Miss Matrix, what's going on? I said the same thing last night. Mike Tyson was fighting like the Cowboys playing. And the Cowboys are playing like Mike Tyson was fighting. And just like that fight, the fix is in. Jerry fixed this season so they wouldn't win, y'all. Regardless of what he's saying. He fixed this season. He didn't think it was going to look this bad. But Jerry couldn't have thought he was going to win with these players. Even Mike said as much in one of his press conferences talking about player development, because Mike was basically saying Jerry's done a terrible job of player development. And so Freddie says, I'm not even upset about this season. I'm not either, because I know the boys will be back on top sooner than later. Oh, I think so too, because the Cowboys are actually not missing as much as a normal team that would be rebuilding. 70s fan, what's going on, man? 70s fan said this is the worst team in the NFL, but I don't know if we can get in the top 5. That's what we're about to talk about. And that's why I was kind of tripping. I just want y'all to see that, because it's like either these people are delusional on the team, because Trey Lance was talking in the same person. He was talking like we've been beating ourselves. Team haven't been beating us. And I'm like, what game are you playing? Y'all have absolutely been getting beat like a drum. Have you been making mistakes? Yes. But you've also been getting beat like a drum, especially in the third quarters. And so, man, it's just been mind-blowing to me when I look at some of these things, and I'm like, man, all I can say is just wow. That's all I can say is just wow. You know, the Cowboys, somebody really need to come and bring us back to earth. They really do. And so I want to run back through this real quick, about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to finish off with the draft. I got something interesting that I've drawn up I think you may find informative. And so, again, we got some storylines. Dak gone for the season. This is the Texas Bowl. The question is, again, are the Cowboys trying to win? I want to know, will we see a different Cooper Rush? Because that's what Jerry and Mike McCarthy is saying. The Cowboys are winless at home this season. I agree with the real Darryl, the 70s, and Freddie. I don't think we'll win a home game this year. And the question is, Mike said he's going to stick with the run. So the question is, will Mike run Rico 25 times? And I'm interested to see what will the boring Mingo and Lance packages look like this week. Because the Cowboys will say it's a package, and it'll be a package of old hot dogs. Keith Rivera said... Keith Rivera said Jalen Tolbert need to be drug tested for that comment. Man, I'm with you, boy. Rick James said cocaine is a hell of a drug. But I don't know what these players on, man. I don't know what these players on. Freddie said the Joker, Jake Paul said last night of the fight, he wants to fight Canelo. Canelo will knock him out in the next week. Yeah, if he don't want the money. But if he want the money like Mike Tyson, he won't knock him out. It's a shame to me that Mike Tyson said the legacy means nothing. This generation different. This generation different, y'all. That's all I can tell you. But that's the storylines. And then as it pertains to the keys, run the ball, run Rico 25 times minimum, go to Lance quickly. Don't wait till the third quarter. I think the Cowboys need to go to Lance quickly. Mingo, deep and sweeps. Let him run deep. Use that size, use that speed. Cooper Rush, just throw it up. Let him jump for it. Run him on the jet sweeps. Do whatever you got to do, but get him in. Work him in. Stop the penalties and no turnovers. Jose Quevedo says, I think us Cowboys will continue losing so Jerry can reach up the draft. Oh, we about to go into that. You're going to find what I got for the draft interesting. No cap. What's going on? All it takes is one great move. Look what one move did for Philly and the Niners. Barkley and CMC. Look what Henry did for the Ravens. That's what I'm going to talk about at the end because I'm telling you, no cap. If Jerry get Ashton Genty, the beginning of a great draft for the Cowboys to me starts like this. And the Cowboys select with the first pick in the draft or their first pick in the draft, Ashton Genty. Cowboys will break the internet. They'll break the internet. Everybody will be talking. This thing's going to be different. And you can't go wrong from there. Next, get a top wide receiver. Get a top wide receiver. Next, if you want to, get you a lineman. I would prefer a linebacker. And I even got another scenario. I think if the Cowboys get high enough, I trade back. I get someone else's first, as long as I know I can get Ashton Genty. Because I'm going to show you something. We're going to keep track of this for the remainder of the year. The race to the top 5 is what I'm going to call it. And we're gonna track this the whole year. We're gonna track this the entire year. But the offensive keys: run the ball, Rico 25 times, go to Lance quickly, Mingo deep and sweep, stop the penalties, no turnovers. Sounds pretty tough. Stop the run on defense. Get pressure on Stroud. Get some turnovers. Guys, this is only 3 things, but it's going to be monumental. I just don't know how we're going to do it. The man who can probably do it, we'll probably have to play that single high safety again. But I think if we do, Stroud's going to beat us up through the air. He's going to kill us through the air. We'll have to get some pressure on Stroud with Overshown and Michael Parsons. We got turnovers. I think we got one turnover. We got one turnover with, as I can remember, with Trayvon Diggs. But now we need turnovers and turn them into field position. He got that one in the end zone. We need one to turn into field position. And then as far as our special teams go, they've been nullified. I don't know what else to say about the special teams. All I can say is get Brandon Aubrey in field goal range. Let him kick the ball. No fake punts, no fake field goals. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And I've already said my thoughts are simple. MG said the Cowboys. MG said the Texans 41 to Dallas 12. I got to figure out where they're going to get 12 points from. You giving them a lot. Will Michael really try to sack his buddy Stroud? Better yet, will he try to strip sack him? That's the question, too. I think the Cowboys will be dominated if they don't run the ball. Rush will be ineffective again, even if they run the ball. Mike will not stick with the run. I'm going to believe it when I see it. Because the moment they get behind, I believe Mike is going to stop running the ball. Stroud will have a field day on the Cowboys. I think he is. I think Dalton Schultz, he's going to be out for blood. And I also think we're going to see Trey Lance sooner than later. And so I already said it the other day. I think the Texans 31, the Cowboys 6. And that's being nice. If they run the ball, stop the run, I think they can keep it within reach. 2013, who knows? Might be able to pull a win out. Might actually be able to pull a win out, but I'm going to highly doubt it. I'm going to highly doubt it with this team, with the way everything is going. So I got this last thing that I'm going to do, and then we're going to get out of here. I think I'm going to try to put this into some chart in the future. I'm going to try to put this into a chart in the future. But this week, we're going to call this the race to the top 10. Because right now, the Dallas Cowboys are actually number 11. The Cowboys are actually number 11. Let me see. Hold on a second. The Cowboys are actually number 11 right now when you look on Tankatron. Let's go here just for a moment. In case you didn't know where the Cowboys are on this list, the Cowboys are at 11. And I think the Cowboys, I looked at the schedule, and I think the Cowboys are going to crack the top 10. And I think they're going to crack the top 10 come Monday night when it's all said and done, when all the smoke clears. And here is why. Hold on a second. Let me look at a couple of these things y'all have here. The Real Daryl says, I saw my UNLV Rebels play against Genty. They had to gang tackle him. Genty can push the pile and ice a game for you late. He's that dude. Generational. He's generational. I hope they get him. Put Parsons and Overshown at linebacker to stop the run. If they put Michael Parsons at linebacker, they're trying to win. There's no doubt they're trying to win. Nisi, we all know that's not happening. See, man, we ain't winning this game. Overshown needs to shut shows down. Wiggins says, before you in the stream, we can get the Ravens and Steelers prediction, please. Oh, wait. Oh, they on here? Hold on a second. They definitely on here. Yeah, I got that on here too. Nisi says, hopefully Wilson and Hooker will have that magic. Worst thing that can happen to Dallas is Dallas sucks, but end up out of the top 10, and it could happen. No cap. But I'm going to show you something. The music is for entertainment, not for me leaving. So, Cowboys are at number 11. So when you look at this on the chart, so as far as the NFC East goes tomorrow, we've already seen the Washington Commanders and the Eagles. That game is in the books. So in this draft race to the top 10, I didn't have to put the rest of the NFC East on there because the NFC East is actually on the list. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are 2-8. They're visiting the Detroit Lions. The Jacksonville Jaguars will continue to hold the number 1 spot. There is no way they're beating the Detroit Lions. I mean, there's a way, but I don't think there is. The Detroit Lions are going to run roughshod over the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're going to hold the number 1 spot. They'll be 2-9 after Sunday. From what I could tell, the New York Giants are on a bye week. I looked up I didn't see them on the NFL schedule for this week. So they're going to hold in the top 5, at least until they play the Cowboys. They're going to still be in the top 5, I think, based on the fact they're only going to have 2 wins. The Tennessee Titans, they're at home, and I think they're going to Minnesota. Yeah, I think they're at home. They're going to hold at 2 wins. They will be 2-8 because they're 2-7, I think, right now. They will be 2-8, and they will hold in the top 5. Cleveland Browns. This is one to watch, and this is how I think the Cowboys are going to start moving up. The Cleveland Browns are going to beat the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are a train wreck. At least that's what I think. You never know. You get these interim coaches, and they come in trying to prove something, trying to prove that they are head coach material. So who knows? New Orleans could mess it up. But I think Cleveland, with Jameis Winston, is going to beat the New Orleans Saints. That's his old team. He's going to be trying to prove something. They are going to go to 3-7, and the Cleveland Browns are going to fall backwards. They're going to fall backwards. The Las Vegas Raiders, they're going to move up. They're going to Miami. Miami's already proven. They're trying to win. They beat the Rams. They're trying to win. They're going to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders are going to move up. All those 2-loss teams, they are going to take up the entire top 5. They're going to take up the top 5. That'll be Jacksonville, the Giants, Tennessee, the Raiders, and then I think there'll be another 3-win team that'll head up in that 5. There are so many tiebreakers, so you don't know how it's going to turn out until it's all said and done. We got the New England Patriots against the Rams. I have a feeling the Rams are going to beat the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are going to fall to 3-8, and they're going to remain in the top 10. New Orleans is going to get beat, I believe. They're going to be 3-8. Like I said, against the Cleveland Browns, they're going to move up. They're going to remain in the top 10. The New York Jets against the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Jets are going to try to win. They're going to move up to 4-7. They're going to fall backwards. And that's how I think the Cowboys are going to move up a spot. The Carolina Panthers, they're on a bye week. So they'll probably be, them and the Giants will probably fall back because they'll have less losses because they're going to miss this week. So I think they're going to move back. Miami is moving out of the top 10 officially this week because I think they're going to try and win. They're going to beat the Raiders. They're going to be 4-6. They're falling out of the top 10. And that means if the Dallas Cowboys do what we think they're going to do and get beat like a drum by the Houston Texans, The Dallas Cowboys will be 3-7, and I believe they move into the top 10. Mission accomplished. Cowboys will be in the top 10 of the draft. And so what we're going to monitor going forward, we're going to keep monitoring the top 10, see who they're playing, and see how everything's we're going to predict how they're going to move. This is how I'm predicting it's going to move. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I'm predicting. I'm not a prophet. But I think this is how it's going to go. Some of these teams, they're trying to be in the top 10, and some of these teams don't actually want to be in the top 10, and they're keeping hope alive that maybe they can make a run. I believe the Miami Dolphins think they can make a run. I do. Miami believes they can make a run. Miami doesn't want to be on this list. I believe the Cleveland Browns, I don't think they want to be on this list. This is going to benefit the Dallas Cowboys. They want to win. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think the Jaguars want to win. But they could be smelling Travis Hunter. They might have him in their sights. And so we'll see what they look like depending upon the competition every week. But these teams right here, I don't think they want to be on here. Cleveland, they don't want to be on here. I don't know if New England even wants to be on here. They already have the quarterback. Doggone it. Their third string quarterback. This kid here, somebody needs to go get that kid. He is too good if he's still the third string quarterback. He is too good to be their third string quarterback. They could literally get a draft pick for him. But I don't think they want to be on here. The Jets, too much pride for Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't want to be on here. Miami has already told us they don't want to be on here. Indianapolis, they don't want to be on here. Cincinnati, all these teams in here, I think they believe they can make a run minus the Dallas Cowboys. I do think we're about to watch the slide. We're about to watch the slide of the Chicago Bears. I do. We are definitely about to watch a slide. Let me read a couple more comments, and then we're going to get to someone's been asking about the Chicago Bears. Wicked has been asking about the Chicago Bears, and we're going to talk about the top 5 games that everybody need to be looking at. About to talk about you too, No Cap. I think you get a kick out of this next part. I don't know, G. I think we have too many wins. Watch what I tell you. Well, I do say this, 70s fan. I think the top 5 will be hard to crack. I see 7 or 8-ish. 7 or 8-ish. That's kind of what I see. What do you think? Yeah, see, the top 5 teams, that's kind of what I'm saying. I think that we're going to be hard pressed. I think Cleveland, I won't be surprised if Cleveland wins. I don't think they want to be here. I really don't. And I don't think New England wants to be here. We're going to see. But the problem is, then the New Orleans Saints slides in. Then the Carolina Panthers slide in. There are so many wicked tiebreakers. The Cowboys would still be on the outside of the top 5. But they will, I believe, as of Monday, they will crack the top 10. Genty is great, but plays bad competition. No NFL-worthy competition now. If he was in the SEC, would he be as dominant? He gets 200 yards, but it's also getting 32 carries in the game, which is insane. For real, though. For real, though. I'm with you on that. They've been talking about that. No amount of draft picks will help Dallas. They will if they get the right coach. They will. Dallas is a garbage team and won't make it back to the playoffs for about 5 years. Oh, no, they'll be back. If they don't make it back next year, they'll be back the year after. No Cap says this draft has some great pass rushers and wide receivers. I want the guy from Auburn. I do. I want the guy from Auburn. Do you pass on them for a running back just like Dallas did passing on Ramsey for Zeke? Is he worth that risk? I'd rather take a wide receiver, number one. While Genty is generational, you could probably still get away with picking a second-round running back. No later than the third. I think you still be fine. MG, trade Parsons. He's too small. Yep, I said it last week. He's too small to be an NFL pass rusher. He's out of position. He should be playing linebacker. In 2016, Dallas should have took Ramsey, then Henry in the second. Imagine how that would have changed Dallas. Dak, Ramsey, Henry all in the same draft. Would have been crazy. Nah, Dak didn't play his final year. Other teams did want him, else he didn't get the deal. Cowboy season over. Oh, for sure. For sure it's over, but not for that top 10. We need to get in that top 10. A few more draft picks and Washington will be in the Super Bowl. Nah. We'll see. We're going to lose to Carolina. Boy, we lose to Carolina. I know we want to. Aaron Rodgers is finished. I don't think he is. Vikings might also fall off. Seahawks as well. Seahawks have already fell off. They've already fell off. And Sam Darnold is turning back into a pumpkin. The Bears are a train wreck. Yes, they're going to slide down. Yes. Carolina could beat a couple of divisional teams plus play the Cowboys. Yeah. We'll see with the Carolina Panthers. Hey, Jay, look at the pass rusher for the Penn State number 11. Okay, I'll check that out. We'll talk about it on the next stream. All right. We're going to close it out. I think this is very interesting. We have got some show-enough games, even though our team, the Dallas Cowboys, y'all, we know they're not going to, we know what's up. We're looking forward to the draft. If you in here, all you 120 people, if you don't mind, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Trying to build the channel. Your support is much appreciated. So, top 5 games that I think that we need to be looking at. No cap, you're going to get a kick out of this. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe the Buffalo Bills will hand the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss. Kansas City is getting their first loss. They've been getting by on the skin of their teeth. The skin of their teeth. Freddie says, I think the boys get number 8 or 7. I do too. In the first round of the draft. And I'll tell you this. If I'm the Cowboys and I can't get who I want, like a Travis Hunter, or if I can't get Genty, or if I see I can get who I want and trade back and there's someone that wants that spot, I'll trade back and get who I want. And I'll get another first round draft pick. And I have 2 next year. I would. Or if they get that 7th spot, then make it count. You get the best player available at wide receiver. We'll look at this pass rusher in the coming weeks. Maybe you get a pass rusher so you can put Micah Parsons back at linebacker. But if I'm going to be in the top half of the draft, I'm really trying to pick the best players I can. I don't even know if I'm caring. I don't even know if I'm caring about a position. Yeah, I'm with you. Washington isn't ready. They're going to get knocked out. Josh Allen. I'm telling you, he got Amari Cooper now. You watch what he looked like. The Buffalo Bills will hand Kansas City their first loss. Kansas City Chiefs, man, they have been getting by the skin of their teeth. Also, wicked. The Pittsburgh Steelers are better than people think. The Pittsburgh Steelers, y'all, are better than people think. Mike Tomlin has that defense humming. And I think they're going to put a stop to both Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Because if you look at the Cincinnati Bengals game, I'm telling y'all, if you watch that game, those referees need to be fired. That last drive for the Cincinnati Bengals, they flat out cheated. They missed a face mask. They purposely missed a roughing the passer. The face mask was blatant, and they missed a clear pass interference call on the 2-point conversion. Cincinnati should have won that game. The way they handled up on Derrick Henry, I mean, Lamar Jackson put a wicked run on him at the end. But I believe the refs cheated them out of that game. And it's a travesty that Joe Burrow has the record that he has and the season that him and Jamar Chase are having. It's crazy. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are going to hand the Baltimore Ravens another loss. The Chicago Bears are a mess. I think they fired the offensive coordinator. This is what happens. You get these quarterbacks like Caleb Williams. They're looking at Jaden Daniels. They're having buyer's remorse. They probably could have kept Justin Fields. What's the difference in the result? Probably could have kept Justin Fields. You probably could have traded that pick for Caleb Williams, and you probably could have got 3 first-round draft picks. There were people who were clamoring for Caleb Williams. When people are clamoring for a quarterback like that, and I know I don't have the people, I don't have the Andy Reid, and I'm going to get Patrick Mahomes. If there's a quarterback that may be better than him, because a lot of people were saying Jaden Daniels was better. A lot of the scouts were saying this. They said Jaden Daniels was better than Caleb Williams. And I didn't think the tape was lying. I think they were looking at the tape. I'd have traded back, but they're an unmitigated disaster. Green Bay is going to beat Chicago. It's going to be a divisional game. It's going to be a good, hard-fought game, but the Green Bay Packers will prevail. The Atlanta Falcons, y'all, they're about to fold like a lawn chair at a wedding. The Denver Broncos, people don't even realize it. This Denver Bronco defense is crazy. It is. The Denver Broncos are going to fold Atlanta Falcons. I believe the Denver Broncos are going to win that game. And all these teams in the AFC, they better be very leery of the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos could mess around and get in there as a wild card team and wind up doing to one of those teams the same thing the Green Bay Packers did to the Dallas Cowboys. Defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. And if Sean Payton can get a hold of that offense the way he needs to and get it humming, they got the defense already. They could do some damage in the playoffs. MG says, Wicked says, thank you. MG says, if Seattle loses Sunday, Jerry starts making plans about trading for DK Metcalf. Boy. I'd give up first for DK Metcalf. I would. I straight up would. Lions and Steelers in the Super Bowl. You know what? Mike Tomlin pretty sneaky. I mean, he's putting together a sneaky good season. The 70s fans say you can hate on Dak Prescott if you want to, but he's the reason we won in Pittsburgh. Straight up. Wicked said he good with that outcome. If we crack the top 10, there will be teams wanting to trade with us. And I would definitely trade for him if I could get the player I wanted and make that trade. Trust me, the 49ers will win in Lambeau next week versus the Packers and stomp their presence as a top 3 team in the NFC. Well, I put right here, if you can see it, if it's legible, you know what I said, no cap? San Francisco begins their run on Sunday. They're going to beat the brakes off the Seattle Seahawks. San Francisco is about to begin its run, y'all. They do this every year. They are about to make a crazy run, and they are going to upend some of these false teams in the NFC. The Washington Commanders, they'll have no chance against San Francisco with Christian McCaffrey. They won't have a chance. Seattle, they're not going to have a chance. Minnesota, they're not going to have a chance. It's going to take Detroit to dethrone the reigning NFC champs, which are the San Francisco 49ers. I agree, 70s fans. So, all right. That's going to do it for me, guys. 3 hours of talking Cowboys, Colorado Buffaloes, and the NFL. And so again, if you have not liked this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video. And definitely we'll be back at some point tomorrow, depending upon how I feel about the games and where they end. But until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.